Intro. Today I'll be talking about the creepy TikTok family once again, and this update will be insane to you all that have been following the story. If you don't know who this family is and what all they have done, make sure to watch the other videos on this ongoing series, as context will be wanted and probably needed for this episode. If you like videos like these, I have other series on my channel in the playlist section that are ongoing, so make sure to like and subscribe as I make videos on lolcows, internet dramas, creeps, and more. Make sure to use YouTube's new mobile-only feature called Hype, as well, as it will help out the video a lot. Make sure to also follow my Twitter, it is linked in the description below. But with all that said,
let's go!
Patrick returns. Patrick returned to TikTok under the name Patrick.Unscripted, instead of just returning to his old DadDaughterDreamTeam account. In their schizo fashion way, they just make another account instead. People have called out the name and bio for being an interesting choice of like words and such, because what do you mean no scripts? Well, all was scripted. And also, this kind of ages poorly very soon, you'll see. He came back with a post, and it's just a photo, and it says this. It says, "Okay everyone, I'm back, but this time I'm not ignoring the hate, I am confronting it. Remember, y'all asked for it. When you poke the bear enough, eventually he will snap back." Still trying to perceive himself as like threatening and stuff again. I don't know, like just respond to stuff, quit making it weird. But yes, it's called Patrick Unscripted. The description of this post, or the caption of it, says, "I am back. I am returning to TikTok with the sole purpose of setting the record straight, unscripted and uncensored. I hope all my haters are ready." Like, that was supposed to be such a shocking thing. To me, it's just so performative all the time. But if you don't know, the Patrick Unscripted account says, "I'm done ignoring the hate. Follow me or don't. No scripts, just raw and uncensored. And remember that for later." Reasonable_result 898 says, "So he admits everything was all scripted before," crying, laughing emoji, "and he already deleted his rant video. So pathetic. LMAO." And I think for the most part, he kept his promise about, like, responding to stuff, not deleting comments and all that, but I'm not sure. I don't remember people saying that he was deleting comments or anything. In fact, he was responding to several of them, and we're going to go over those now. I just want to call out the top comment that he didn't respond to, that says, "Bears normally have teeth," making fun of his dental hygiene and such. But someone asked, "But is it really you or a fake account?" And he says, "It is really me 100%. That much will become clear later today when I post my first actual video. Just posted this to warn everyone that I'm not back for fun and games." Someone replies saying, "Didn't you delete your first video? If so, why?" And I don't know if this was after the video, or yeah, it seems like after the video was released and stuff, because it was the next day. He responds to someone, I don't know what the original comment is, but he says, "I think you meant those with and IQ below 4. That sentence is so terrible, because anyone with a brain can see how obsessed you all are with providing yourselves right, even though you can never offer any real proof," even though we have before. And this person responded, and I'll go over their comment. "Pat, you and I both know those accounts were created long before any incredibly crazy accusations came out about you and your daughter. I might believe some troll on Reddit had made them if they weren't created so long ago, and everything about those accounts lines up directly with you and you alone, sir. Deny it all you want, say we have no proof. An innocent man doesn't need to respond with those words, though. Quote, you have no proof. At this point, we all know it was you, just another failed attempt to get rich quick on the internet. So Pat, if you stand so strongly with the video you made earlier calling us all, quote, haters, out, where did the video go? Looked like you were speaking with your whole chest. Did you delete it with your whole chest as well? Come on, man. At this point, just come out and tell the truth. You'll feel better after, maybe even good enough to hop in the shower for the first time in what looks like weeks." Okay. That's insane. I don't think they responded to this either. Anu Joanna says, "Patrick admits that S, quote, made up the story about the fiance to keep people off of her back. So I guess this is just how this family works. They lie to keep people off their back. We see that." And someone posts the picture of the comment where Sarah a long time ago says, "Thanks, my fiance thinks so too." And Patrick responds saying, "Not really. Sarah had already debunked this in a live stream once. At the time, she was fed up with people asking if she was single, so she made up this false story about a fiance to get people off of her back." And then someone responds saying, "Yeah, so making up false stories to keep people off your back really runs in the family, huh?" The original Reddit poster says, "He just keeps exposing himself and talking around in a way that makes him look worse, not better." And that's true. There's just no good with lying, especially whenever they want to try to be on the internet forever or whatever. Reasonable_result 898 says, "S was forced to move out by us, anonymous strangers on the internet." crying laughing emoji. Patrick says in a comment, Sarah was pretty much forced out by the bull. She thought if she gave everyone what they wanted, maybe they would back off. But for the record, we really aren't struggling financially. People assume that we live where we live because we are comfortable, not because we have to. I'll touch on this more in a video. And then the Redditor also adds on saying, like what? Crying laughing emoji, crying laughing emoji. Want to know a better way to get the quote haters to back off? Get off TikTok and stop trying to be creators. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And you're obviously struggling. Nobody would choose to live in a one-bedroom with their entire family, especially not a woman in her 20s and a teenage boy. Yeah, I've said this. I'm going to say it a little bit more in the rest of this video. Just get off the internet. They're not meant for it. They really aren't. They also have so much wrong with them that they're not really supposed to be on the internet. Just to be 100. Internal Army 9505 makes this Reddit post saying half-truths and why believing him is impossible. And this, I think, was during the time of him making these videos. So, yeah, it was. It says, P has a sick habit of telling half-truths as an attempt to gain validity. Example, he admits to having the Erotica account way back when, half-truth. He doesn't know how to use AI, but he does admit to using AI in his and S's book, half-truth. Either he has a conscience, doubtful, and is trying to make himself feel better about being a weirdo, or he's just trying to manipulate his audience, likely. When there are genuine ways he could be, quote, proving his innocence right now, it's hard to believe a bunch of verbal nonsense. S did not move out. He created Ariella as a get-rich-quick scheme, entangled with his sick fantasies. He is a neglectful father and very likely a pred. Show us around the apartment and put the rumors that S didn't move out to rest. Give us literally anything proving us wrong. Show us the emails you've received since you allegedly don't have any recent Erotica accounts. Oh wait, you conveniently deleted them. Come on, give us something. There's absolutely no genuine way someone is framing you, Patrick. If this were some sort of Redditor/troll that was out to get you, you really think they'd go this far out of their way to create thousands of accounts on various social medias, write up weird dad-ex-daughter fantasies months in advance, promote said Erotica account nowhere, and somehow convince your entire family to like their NSFW Instagram promo posts? You're an idiot. Quote, you guys really think I'm that stupid? That was from Patrick. Yes, 1,000 times yes. You can only be caught in so many lies before you lose absolute all accountability. Even in your recent explanation where you, quote, told no lies, you claim to not have known the Ariella account was doing anything NSFW behind the scenes, when there is proof that you were actively liking their NSFW promo posts on Instagram. And you'll see a lot of their lies get kind of caught up to them. Thank you, Internal Army 9505, for this post, and everyone else I've recently mentioned. But yes, it's like, you're going to lie, and these guys are not smart enough to keep up with them, especially because there's so much proof against them on the internet. Patrick is older, right? I don't know how specifically old he is. I don't think he's near 50. I think he's like, he just looks like he's aged pretty not well. I think he's like 40-something. Those lies catch up to you, and I feel like he's not like technically sound because there's so much proof out there that he probably doesn't know that like it shows you like Instagram posts, although we've seen it on the Reddit multiple times. And it's been just too long. But anyway, he's also made videos responding to comments and just talking more about certain topics. But before I show the videos, I just want to say sorry, as some of the response TikToks are kind of lost media right now, and I get more into why later. There was a 16-minute one that is gone. I don't know about the others. I don't speed up the clips either in any of my videos. That's just people who archive them that like speed them up for whatever reason. I kind of get it though. Just trying to make the clips smaller and stuff for uploading on Reddit or whatever it may be. But I'll explain why in another segment, like why this is all lost media. But here's the first video.
Hello again, TikTok. So, apparently I couldn't stay away. So, I guess I just proved the trolls right. But that's okay. I'm back. But not the way you want me to be. I'm not playing around anymore. I'm done. So you want to keep sending accusations my way? Fine. I'll respond. But you're not going to like the answer. The answer is simple. I am tired of all of you people just coming on here and getting away with whatever you feel like. Well, that's not going to happen anymore. You want to accuse me of being in an inappropriate relationship with my daughter? You guys have sick heads. How could that be the first thing you think about when a father hugs his daughter? I mean, come on, really? That is the most disgusting thing I have ever heard in my life. I tried to pass it off. I tried to be nice. I tried to just roll with it and laugh it off. But honestly, you guys are sick, perverted freaks. Doesn't surprise me that one of you created an AI account to try and frame me. Me! I have never even thought about writing a story like that. And you know what I'm talking about. Everybody's heard the rumors. No, I did not write stories like that. The only story I've written is our book, Firebound Harmony, which, by the way, we wrote every word. Well, not every word. There was a couple instances where we used AI to help us, but we paraphrased it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You're going to believe what you want, and I don't care anymore. But I'm going to set the record straight. So the record is this. I am just a normal, everyday father who cares for his children. And you guys can stop hurling wild accusations, especially the creators on this platform. Specifically, the one that's calling themselves the Dad and Daughter Nightmare Team. You are even lower than dirt. You are coming on here, clipping our videos, using them for your purposes, so you can make money off of us, off of making me look bad, making me look like the bad guy. You're making your money off that, and yes, I know you're making money. I know you're not just doing it for the fun of it, or to spread awareness like you claim. All your videos are over a minute long for a reason. I'm not dumb. I've been in the TikTok creator program. I know how it works. See, I can't do anything about it because fair use allows you to clip our videos and alter them. But just know, you're lower than dirt. And anybody else who makes their living off of hurting other people, you're also lower than dirt. But I'm not taking the high road anymore. So I'm going to find these little clips of videos. I'm going to find these little snippets on Reddit. I'm going to start posting them on this channel. And I'm going to start responding to them. And I'm going to start exposing you all for the idiots you really are. Because you have no clue what you're doing. Some of the you come up with is like so far out there in the realm of possibilities that I don't even know where your brains are anymore. Probably non-existent. But don't worry, I know I have some people out there who have been waiting for me to come back for other reasons. So I'll still do a couple cooking videos. I'll still do some encouragement videos. But when I feel the need, I'm going to come back in here and tell these trolls exactly where they can stick it. And by the way, y'all can back off Sarah now. I'm back. You have a problem with me? Come here. I won't block you. I won't delete your comments. Now, some of the nastier comments will be filtered because I've set up filters, and I'll delete those. But I won't delete your comments. And I won't block you. I'll just tell you where you can stick it. So, I hope you all are happy now that I'm back. I can't wait to read what you're going to write on Reddit about this video. Oh, he's triggered. Yep, I'm triggered. And you're not going to like the result. Because I can hurl insults with the best of them. I'll make you feel about this high. And I won't feel bad about it either. Because you're all a bunch of... You get your jollies off of attacking other people on the internet. That's your pleasure. That's what you want to do. So you all are the lowlifes, not me. So I'm just going to give you what you deserve. A little taste of your own medicine. And anybody that feels the need to come after me, by all means. You all know where I work. You all know where I live. By all means, come on. I'll be happy to educate you in real life. Problem is, you won't like it.
It feels scripted when he speaks. Also, it feels like he's trying to gaslight and be manipulative. We show reasons as to why we think this way and why, like, we believe this stuff. In fact, here's a clip that was shown recently that I forgot to show in my last video, where it looks like Patrick licks or attempts to lick his own daughter in a dance video that they do together. It's your own fault we think this way. The actions and evidence are too much against you. Also, he speaks about money, and I wonder why he wouldn't just reopen one of his old accounts that have the follower count and all the other stuff needed for monetization on TikTok, because it seems so odd to me that they want to make money, they want to succeed on TikTok, but they keep doing this. Like, it's the worst logic ever that, oh, we're getting so much hate on this one TikTok account that we're just going to make a new one. Like, that's going to fix anything. In fact, all those people that you recently blocked are now basically unblocked. You now have to restart an account completely trying to get 10,000 followers. And if you keep more followers, it's like any social media. It's social media 101. Get more followers, you get like more of a consistent viewer base, you make more consistent money, and then at times more money. But they just don't follow it at all. They're like, oh, we got hate. This account was doing good, but we got too much hate, deleting it. It's so ridiculous. I truly do not understand it. Also, no one is hurting you other than yourselves, but as you can see, this whole account's beginning purpose, at least, is to respond to comments and other allegations and such. Also, TikTok has an automatic filter system where like comments will get filtered out because like maybe they are like saying too much. But him admitting that he has additions to this system makes him look even worse. Also, the cussing was forced again. I guess they're done with the godly act for a while until they can use it as an excuse or to make him look better. I don't see how his insults could be that bad. There's no comeback that you can make for all the stuff that is against you. You can say one thing towards someone, and they have like hours of videos that are against you. They have, not only that, they also have like all these screenshots and stuff like that. Stuff that you refuse to respond to. Clips now that are like you know, saying certain things. There's no comeback. Also, it's so interesting to me that he is one of the only people who hasn't had people come up to him. Usually with creeps, locals, and stuff like that, they'll start getting like in-person harassment. And it's just fascinating to me that it hasn't happened to him. Not saying that anyone should. I'm not promoting that. But even with his invite at the end of this video, which just seems so like weird to me in a way, like he makes this weird face when he's mad. Like he looks like a child that got upset, and he's like overly expressive facially. But I feel like he would have talked about it, like talked about people coming over at some point, like harassing him and stuff, making like one of those like, oh, I'm the victim videos. But there's been no proof of this yet. No one's actually made videos like TikTok. Like there's been no posts on social media, despite them going to the same parks. We know where they're at now and stuff like that. Like no one has came up to them yet. They are so beyond lucky for that too. But I feel like their luck might run out soon as they get more attention and such. And, you know, like the hater base or, you know, whatever you want to say is only going to get larger. And then some people are just going to be like, I'm just going to go troll them. Although there's been like police reports, phone calls, stuff like that against them. There's been no like in-person like confrontations or anything. But like I said, I think that luck runs out soon. Here's also another one of his longer videos from this.
To respond to, but I'm not doing that tonight. Just got off work. It's been a crazy day. So I'm going to go ahead and plan those for the next couple days. I want to answer the questions. One of them is asking what happened with Jenna. The other one was asking about the purity ring video. So I'll cover those in the next couple of days. But I did want to come on here real quick just to point something out. Everybody should look at my comments. If you really want to see what's going on, you should look at my comments. Because I haven't deleted anything. I haven't blocked anyone. This is what we have gotten on 90% of our videos throughout the life of our account after people started, pulling. And it goes like this. Somebody comments. We respond. They come back. And then they keep commenting and keep commenting. They make like 5 comments. It's literally the definition of an obsession, because they literally have to keep posting these comments to prove that they're right. While I'm just sitting back here going, whatever. Now, last night I replied to a lot of comments. I got a little heated with some, and I really, wanted to drive my point home. So now, I've stopped. Not going to respond to comments anymore. I'm just going to let them talk amongst themselves. And let them really just try to go out there and prove their whole wild theories. It's going to be funny to watch, because they're literally proving my point every single time they do it. They're literally proving my point. They're proving that they are obsessed, that they can't handle being wrong, because they have to keep commenting to try and get their answers so that they can be right. And then they analyze every video. They analyze my body movement. They analyze my voice. They analyze my hair. It looks greasy. I look like I haven't showered. This is the stuff that they come up with to bring me down. This is the stuff that is their main attack. My hygiene's off. I don't take care of my family's needs. You guys, you got to come up with some new material. You got to figure out where you're at here, because you're literally not proving anything. All you're doing is proving one thing. One, that you are completely obsessed. And obsessive behavior, that is usually done by people with no real truth, or no real truth behind their stuff. So you talk about us over-explaining things. Well, you over-analyze things. So which is worse? Like, you can sit and stare at a piece of macaroni for an hour, and you could probably come up with 10 different things that macaroni did or looked like, because you're over-analyzing it. When all you had to do is just look at it and say, oh, that's a piece of macaroni. Sorry, bad analogy. I had macaroni and cheese for supper. Anyway, but that's the point. When you over-analyze things, that's when you become the problem. You go too deep. So, keep going. I mean, every comment is engagement. Every time you blow off steam on my channel, you're going to just keep pushing my videos out more and more. And as I said in my original video, I will be doing my cooking videos again. I will be doing my other videos again. I just had to get some stuff off my chest first. And like I said, there's a couple questions that I want to answer, and I'm going to do that over the next couple days. And I've even been in contact with one of the creators that really put some videos out early on that were not the greatest. Well, this creator has reached out and wants to do a sit down with us, and we're thinking about it. So that might be coming up too. So stay tuned. We're going to set the record straight here, and then whatever happens, we're not going to look back. So anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll start answering some questions in the comments. So anyway, bye.
We don't do this to bring you down. We do this to criticize you and expose the bad things that you do. You act like, also saying bring you down is acting like you are the victim or you haven't done anything wrong. Also, he doesn't really respond to the hygiene comment, but he does bring it up once. I don't know who said they over-explain things, as they seem to never really say anything. They never seem to say the truth or explain things well at all. In fact, whenever they do explain everything, they explain it so poorly due to lying so much that it just catches up to them, or it gets debunked very quickly. He wants to talk about engagement, but he isn't getting paid on this account unless he gets 10,000 followers and hits some other requirements. And I don't know the follower count of it right now. Like, you want to act smug, but whenever people really know, like, the guidelines and stuff, you just look like an idiot. Huh. Yeah, keep giving me engagement. And if I was them, I know they want to be on the internet, but if I was them, I would legit be afraid of my videos doing good, as the internet only hurts them. Here's the next video where he responds to Literotica.
Okay, so I'll get to this comment in a minute, the one I put at the beginning of the video. Couldn't get that on TikTok because it's gone. Don't know why. I didn't delete it. TikTok may have filtered it, but it's not my filtered comments. So I don't know where it went, but I pulled this off Reddit so that I could respond to this guy. I won't say the other word because that's what got my last video in trouble. I was a little too forceful in my last video, so TikTok literally would not push it to the For You page at all, and eventually ended up taking it down themselves because it was a little too forceful. I got a little too heated, and I apologize. I shouldn't have. This really doesn't help matters any, throwing all that out there like that in that tone. I was a little heated, obviously. So, well, that's not what this channel is about. This channel is about taking these, accusations and poking holes in all their crap. So, getting to this comment. You have tied accounts to me from 12 years ago on the Literotica site. The method of tying those accounts to me was a YouTube video of a guy who sounded apparently just like me. I didn't hear it, but apparently everybody else did. People hear what they want to hear. 12 years ago, the only account I had was associated with my future Masters chant. It was one that I started and was posting my grip, my swing, all that stuff. I was actually in school. Well, actually, I wasn't in school at that time, but shortly after that, I started school at the Golf Academy of America, hoping to become a golf instructor or even a professional golfer. It was a phase. I was young. But that's not the point. So the point is, I've never played Dark Souls in my life, so that guy's little video playing Dark Souls, talking about the FBI show I got that they're talking about. Yes, I know about it because I monitor the Reddit and the other creators on TikTok that are talking about us. So, no, you can't connect that one to me. Because 12 years ago, I didn't even have a YouTube account doing anything with my voice at all. Okay, I didn't start my first YouTube account where I was actually speaking and on camera and whatnot until I started the Horrified Gaming YouTube channel when I was developing my first horror game. So, and that was 2018. So, no, that's not connected to me. The other account that you are connecting to me with the picture of the dragon, somebody literally went on Reddit and said that wasn't me. The actual owner of that account. I remember it from back when. But people refuse to see that. See, that's the problem. You refuse to see the truth because you're still caught up in what you believe. Now, as for the Ariala account, well, let's go through the evidence, shall we? Because you say that's tied to me and me alone. Okay. So the first way that's tied to me is it liked Monster Hunter. A game that in its first 2 weeks on the market sold over 10 million copies. Now, we're not the only fans here, people. Monster Hunter's really big. Okay, well, great. You probably can accept that, right? And there are a lot of 21-year-old women out there. You can accept that too, right? But what really ties it to us is Sarah. She used the song, right? That's your theory, right? That ties it to us. Well, let's ask the question. If I were to create an AI account, especially one posting NSFW content, at that time, after we'd already deleted 2 channels because of the trolls and the people on Reddit who constantly dive deep into our lives, if I were trying to create an AI account that they didn't find, why the hell would I have Sarah do a video, knowing that they watch her account? Why would we do that? That makes no logical sense. So, let's see if you can figure out the answer to that. But let's continue. Okay? You say that because Sarah was the only one that used that sound. All right, look at the history. That video for that song, it didn't really have very many views. It was a brand new account on TikTok. Now, here's the thing. I have an account on TikTok that nobody else knows about but my family, and nobody will ever find. And it's an account where I post, inspirational stuff and stuff like that without showing my face because I don't want to tie it to me because my reputation is so terrible here on this platform. But here's the thing. I went to Hunter's page and I liked one of his videos with that account just because, it was one of my favorite videos from him. The next day, one of my videos, now he's never even interacted with my account, but the next day, one of my videos showed up on his For You page.
Someone in the comments said the YouTube channel that he was referencing in the beginning actually had a face cam, but I never knew about this or what's going on. I never looked at the channel. I might while editing this maybe, but I just never did. But him saying, let's go through the evidence, shall we? I think it's just so corny and forced again. But I think we actually found the inspirational account a while back that he's talking about that no one really found. But I mean, if y'all are in the same house, on the same internet and stuff like that, where he talks about, oh, how did my videos pop up on his thing or whatever, Hunters, you all are on the same internet and stuff like that, and usually if you all are on the same internet or searching on, the same, bandwidth and all that, stuff like that will pop up, familiar searches between you all. And TikTok just shows this stuff. I mean, they're a popular topic and stuff like that, and maybe he's looked it up before or something. I mean, it is his own account. He's done his own stuff on it. But these are all the responses I can show for now. But as you all heard in one of the videos I shown, he was in talks with another creator who wanted to interview him, and you'll never guess what happened. The interview / Patrick admits it. As talked about in the last segment, Patrick was in conversations with a creator. This creator's name would be Hannah. I don't know her I can't find the account, as her name was just a honeypot emoji. People were saying like, oh, this is her and stuff like that, and I would go and look it up and still never found it. So I can't give any intel on her other than like her name. I don't know why he allowed her to interview him out of everyone, but whatever. I actually did call him out to be interviewed before, a little bit before this interview, I think that they did. Or maybe it was during the time. I don't exactly know. I just remember going on Reddit and wanting to call them out for one. Because, I mean, if they're going to, like, let me interview you, I mean, let's set it up. Let's make it happen. You might as well. But unless they message me on Twitter or Reddit or said something on TikTok, I won't see it. So, but anyway, here is the full interview. There is a timestamp to skip it, as it's like an hour and a half long or something like that. And I get to everything at the end of, like, you know, the timestamp, of course. But here it is.
All right, so a couple of things before this starts. It is laggy, so it's going to pause sometimes. I did try to take out some of the longer pauses, and near the end I was getting tired of them, so I started like taking out some of the pauses as well. But they're usually not for that long. But I get it can be tedious. There, of course, will be the timestamp. And then also, so the stream is laggy. It's like, I think it's just like the stream being laggy in general and not anyone else's fault other than maybe Patrick and Sarah for doing it in the middle of a park. And like if I had to blame anyone, but I think it was just a laggy stream. Then also there is an echo for a little bit, but it does go away. So yeah, just before we got into that, and of course the timestamp you can skip if you want. But honestly, I think this was like a good conversation. I think that you should definitely listen to it. Just wanted to let you all know.
Here we go.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, okay. Hi, guys.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Hot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously there's a lot going on, right? I guess I'll open it up with, oh, you guys are there. Okay. Let's see. How do you guys want to go about this? Do you want me to just jump right into my questions, or do you guys want to start off like whatever makes you guys feel comfortable to be able to do this?
I was going to start off by saying something.
Yeah, go ahead.
And, I think a lot of people just seem to think that we don't see what they're seeing or understand where they're coming from. Well, we kind of do, but we kind of don't at the same time. So
Okay.
I don't understand how somebody could see how we interact and get the wrong impression. But I also don't understand how people could take it as far as they do. Like, okay, maybe we're closer than most stronger ones. Maybe we have a different dynamic than most do. But the direction they take it from there, that's what we don't understand. It's not that we don't understand how people can get the wrong impression. And we've acknowledged that for sure.
Yeah. So
it's kind of, yes, we understand, but no, we don't.
Okay, so I hear you. I see your perspective totally. But on the flip side, there's a lot to unpack here. So if you're okay, I did write up some notes just to make it a little bit easier for me to stay on track, and so we don't kind of get lost all over the place, if you're comfortable with that.
That's fine.
Okay, wonderful. So the first thing is, again, I know this is a sensitive topic, so I will tread somewhat carefully in asking this. Your brothers have been brought up a lot, right? On Reddit, on TikTok, everywhere. And you had made a video at one point, kind of discussing that a little bit and, saying that they're your brothers and you love them and, you don't condone what they do, but you're kind of still going to support them. I think a lot of people have a problem with the word support on a situation like that, because that kind of situation has affected so many people in this world. And so for someone like me, if I had a sibling like that, I could love them from afar, but I don't know I could publicly say that I support them. So how do you respond to that?
Okay, so understandably, I don't talk about my brothers and their friends very often.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they made mistakes. It's theirs to deal with, not mine. When I made that video, I was kind of trying to convey something else. I don't support them at all in what they did.
Okay.
Please understand that. Both of them have been to prison. They've made mistakes. I still talk to my brothers. I still love my brothers. They're my brothers. And my kids still know their uncles, but I take certain precautions when they're around. Obviously, my kids will never be alone with them ever. You know, not that I'm expecting anything to happen, because again, they've gone through the programs and whatnot, and as a Christian, I have to have a certain level of forgiveness. But that doesn't mean I need to be stupid about it. Now, the reason I don't talk about it is because no matter what I say on the subject, people are going to have a problem with it. They have a certain view of offenders, and no matter what, I'm never going to be able to stop that. And I get that. I understand where people are coming from. But at the same time, understand that I never supported their behavior at all. I don't feel like I should disown my brothers because of mistakes they've made. Yes, they were horrible mistakes. But I can't. I was raised to, you don't abandon family. That doesn't mean I'm going to be stupid and, just support them in the way people think. But yeah, I still talk to them. My kids have met them and seen them, but again, never alone. That raises too many problems, and I'm aware of that. So I guess that's about it. That's all I can say. I mean, it's not like I support their actions at all. Never have, never will. But
That was a question for you, so I don't think I need it.
Okay. Well, thank you for answering, and I think that kind of clears up some of the confusion people have as to why. And at the end of the day, you are who you are, and you're going to make whatever decisions you want for your life. But I think people will still criticize that, whether people are going to disagree with it. But again, this is your life, and you're going to do what you want. So, but yeah, I think you've made it pretty clear where you stand with them. So I hopefully that will maybe clear up some confusion for other people. You and Sarah do have a healthy relationship. You have those boundaries have never been crossed. On the flip side, could there be truth that you guys, or you or Sarah, both of you, did make the account for financial means? The thing is, let's be real. People are weird in the world, right? People sell their underwear online for money. People sell feet pictures. People are on OnlyFans, right? People do things for money. And, AI has become very popular. AI has, a lot of, I'm not into it, but there are people out there who are into that kind of stuff. Now, in my opinion, there are too many similarities. And I don't know if so it's hard, I think, for people to look at all of that and question, is someone setting up? I mean, it's just it's a hard one. So my question to you guys is, did you guys make it? And it's unfortunate that it got caught, but it had nothing to do with yours and Sarah's relationship. It was just something to make some money.
No, we did not create that account. Now, the timing of it, to me, is hard to figure out, because that account was created at some point in the time when I was offline and Sarah was solo on her account. How Sarah found it, she said it same on her For You page. I don't know. I know there's a lot of coincidences, and that's what makes me wonder if it was a setup, because, I mean, the profile just screams nuts.
Yeah.
It seriously did, and that, I mean, honestly, I'm being completely honest with you. I have no idea what went on with that. All I know is I would never create an account like that. Now, granted, we did like a couple of her posts, or one of her posts in particular, because it was like some Christmas thing, and Sarah saw it after she found the song and wanted to support her in like a contest or whatever. I mean,
Quick question. If you guys both liked that, I mean, wouldn't that go against like your Christian values of supporting somebody who's like that, though? I mean, this person, whoever is behind that account, I mean, talked about reptiles and what is it? Bonk Bro, not Bonk Bro, Smash Bros. What's the game? Sorry. Sorry. Monster Hunter. I mean, there were so many similarities that it just.
We didn't even see any of that until it was brought up. All I saw, like, Sarah did the song, she liked the song, and then, like I said, there was some contest going on. Now, the picture that we liked, I mean, yeah, it could be considered a little less than honorable, but at the same time, it didn't show anything. So I didn't even know about the fan view or whatever that was, because I didn't look at the profile. It was just, to me, it was just like, you know, hey, I don't know. It was what it was, you know. It didn't seem like a big deal to me, because I didn't see anything off until after it was discovered. Because, like I said, I didn't look at the profile, none of that. It just, Sarah had seen the Instagram post, because, you know, she had liked the song, so she liked the creator, and said she was in some sort of contest and asked if I'd like the post. I'm like, okay, you know.
Yeah, because I thought she was another one of those smaller artists that are just getting started, and I figured the best way to support her would be to get her Instagram and her social media seen, because that's the way it happens with a lot of the new artists, is their social media gets seen, then record companies see them, and that's how they get started. So I figured it was an easy way to help her out. I didn't realize that it was, you know, that she was doing any of that bad stuff.
No, I mean, that's it. I just don't understand. You know,
but can you see people's point of view as to why people are skeptical?
That's why
I will be honest. For me personally, I find it just a little bit hard to believe, just because of the similarities and when all of this was created. Because I went back, and tons of people on Reddit and stuff were able to find like dates and times of when it was all created, and it's just hits too close to home for that. And then, you know, well, let's bring up like the Literotica page. I mean, Miss Ariella was on there. Well, hold on. So I know you guys are frustrated with this. I can see it. I know it. Did you guys, when this came across your page or however you found it, did you guys even look at the Miss Ariella account?
No, I didn't. I did not. I saw it come through on Reddit, and I saw some of the clips that they posted on Reddit, or excerpts from the story, and I just shut it down, and I couldn't even look at it. Honestly, Hannah, I couldn't even look at it.
But didn't you just say in your recent video, though, that when you were in your 20s, you were on that Literotica site?
I was not.
Listen, I'm not here judging you for what you do in your private time. I'm just saying you did admit to being on there.
Absolutely. When I was younger, in my 20s, honestly, when I was in my 20s, like a lot of men, I had a porn addiction. I mean, I've since been saved from that thanks to my faith in Christ. It was a thing. That was back in my 20s. It was a mistake that I made. I was young. I was stupid. I don't have any problem admitting my past mistakes. I never wrote anything, probably because I'd be way too self-conscious to even think about trying to write something like that. But I read a few stories, but I didn't know, honestly, I am not trying to be less than truthful. I didn't even know that particular category existed. I wasn't even looking for that kind of stuff, because that, even in my 20s, that would have been extremely disgusting to me. That specific, I mean, whatever, I was reading those kind of stories, but not the, I don't want to say the word, but you know, the,
Not the category that they're suggesting.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And I want to just say, like, I do appreciate you opening up about that, because I don't think you have opened up about that part of you. So I think right there is a good step in the right direction for being honest with that. That is something like a lot of people do struggle with. So thank you for being honest. I appreciate that. And I think a lot of other people will too. It's so hard because you can make so many connections from that to like all the AI, you know, the Instagram, the Reddit account. And I think what would have probably not been such a red flag is if like the Ariella accounts disappeared as quickly as they did. Which I think a lot of people felt really uncomfortable and concerned over, you know?
yeah, that
And then
there
the Ariella account, the Ariella account also on that Literotica site also followed another account. And that account had a lot of stories that had a lot of similarities to some of the things going on. And listen, I'm not here to, you know,
I know, and I get it.
I know that you have you've expressed in videos, right? Like you look at the Reddit account, you see the things that are being talked about on you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that page is filled of stuff. And so I guess my purpose here is just to, like, I guess at the end of the day, right? Like, even if something was happening, would the truth really come out? Because would it? I mean, I can try and play devil's advocate, give you the benefit of the doubt and everything, but it's hard. And I just hope that you can see why people are really skeptical over everything. If you came out and you said straight up, listen, and because this is my belief and a lot of others, especially with the Ariella, if it's hard to tell the truth, and the truth is you really just, or somebody that you know made that account really just for money, I think a lot more people would be like, take a breath and be like, okay, like, I get it, right? We're living in hard times. The world is crazy. You know, people are trying to find ways to make income. Like, that would be more believable, and people could actually have respect and probably back off of that.
I'm sure they could. But at the same time, honestly, I told you I would be completely honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about, a long time ago, I thought about just saying it was us just to get people off of our back. But at the same time, I don't want to express something that's not true. And honestly, I have no idea where that all came from. I don't know why it's so close to us. I honestly don't know why, because they shared that picture of the Venmo account with our book picture on it. I don't know why that would be there. If it doesn't make sense to me. But I also don't want to say, oh, it was us and blah blah blah, if it wasn't, because why lying? I just don't. I get why people think it's us. I do. Because nobody really knows us except what we post online, except what they see online. But at the same time, that is something I could not even. I mean, an AI account, fine. I've thought about that several times. I can't do it because I can't figure out how to make the face consistent. I don't know how they did it, but
that kind of AI account, never.
No, I could not
never do that.
Even if it's AI, even if it's fake, I could never portray a woman that way.
Because it feels wrong to have a woman, like, I'm a woman. It feels wrong to have my gender portrayed in that way because that's what so many women go through, is they feel sexualized, and that's how I would feel. I could never do that.
So it's one of those things where I just don't want to say yes, I did it.
How?
I didn't.
So the other thing with that account is that the profile picture, right? A lot of people are saying that it resembles Jenna. And that was the next topic, because a lot of people are really curious, Sarah, what happened with that? Because it seemed like you expressed that she was your best friend and stuff, and so people were just curious what happened. Were people going after her? Like, are you comfortable sharing?
I can definitely share. At first it was a little shocking to me, but I mean I can share because this is honesty. But he explained this on his channel. But the last time that we went to see her, you know, we went up there, we said hi, and we talked to her. I gave her a birthday present. I showed her the song I made for her, and she was happy to see us, like she always is. And then the day after we got back, I went to Instagram to check on her story and just like see if she had seen mine, because I posted a story about it. I wanted to see if she had seen it, and I got a reply from her. And then shortly after that, I went back to Instagram, and it looked like I had been blocked. And we thought it was just an Instagram glitch, because that's happened before. You know, we've been accidentally blocked on another social media, and we fixed it. She was apologetic, and we fixed it. But this time, she did actually block me, and I didn't get a reason. I didn't understand why she did it. I didn't get any kind of explanation. So I think maybe some trolls were like messaging her or emailing her saying that, you know, what you said, that the AI account resembled her, and she believed it and blocked me. And like he said, we haven't messaged her because we don't want to come off as stalkers. I don't understand. I don't know why she blocked me. It's just like she said before that, you know, she gets it all the time, but I think maybe she believed them and blocked me. So
it's unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate, because she was my best friend.
And I know that people were messaging her with exactly that, because I'd seen it on Reddit. I was hoping that she wouldn't believe it. I was hoping that she would at least ask us about it, because her reaction when we saw her at events was always over the top. Like, she was so happy to see us. She'd run to us immediately, give us hugs. She was our friend.
Yeah, there was one we went to in Oklahoma City, and we got there before her. And when she saw us through those doors, her face lit up like a Christmas tree, and she went immediately to give us a hug. So I know for a fact that she was my best friend. That's why I don't understand why she would believe these people. I was going to say idiots, but I don't want to.
Yeah. Were you guys friends, though, like texting wise? Did you guys ever like hang out outside of these meet and greets? Like, what did that friendship look like aside from the meet and greets?
We didn't really hang out much in person because, like, obviously she lives in Houston. Well, now she lives in LA, but she lived in Houston at the time, and she was always super busy, like with events and like meet and greets and stuff like that. So we never really hung out in person. We were going to make plans, but then, you know, she blocked me. But we did message very frequently on Instagram, because she had to change her phone number several times because of crazy fans calling her. So, but we did talk on Instagram quite a lot.
Yeah, it was kind of like a very long distance relationship most of the time, because even when she was in town for events, she was there for the event, and then she had to leave immediately for the next event.
Yeah.
So
like we were gonna make dinner plans when we went to Oklahoma City, but she had a baseball game she had to go to right after it, and then she had to leave for the next event, so we couldn't do that. But yeah, we were trying to make plans, and then she blocked me, so it just never came to be.
Yeah. Well, so I'm sorry that happened to you, because I'm sure that it did hurt. You know, I think when you feel close to somebody and they, you know, out of the blue do that to you, it can hurt, you know, for sure. So I definitely have empathy for that, and I'm really sorry that did happen to you. I think a lot of people just, I think that's a hard one for sure.
Well, I understand how people can feel the way they felt, because they never really get to see it. And obviously, it wasn't a traditional friendship in the sense of the word that, you know, talking, texting, but at the same time, there was a connection, and, you know, nobody can know that but us because nobody else was there for those times when we met with her.
Like they've seen the videos I took with her on TikTok. Like they're public, or they were public on our channel for everyone to see, so they could see the video. But they didn't see how, like, you can't really tell through a screen how much emotion is being put into it. And like she was so happy every time she saw us, and people don't understand how I can be friends with a celebrity. That's all it is, really. They think it's just a parasocial relationship because
do you think she could have been acting though? Like, do you think she was probably just kind of putting that on because it is a meet and greet and you're supposed to be really lively and like really crazy and over the top because you want fans, you want people to come in, you know?
The problem is she didn't react that way to anybody else. Yes, she'd give her fans hugs. Yes, she'd greet them. But it was over the top when she saw us. It was completely different. That's the reason why we believe that she really did care about us, because it was not the same reaction as she gave other fans.
Other fans, like we were in line and we could see her interactions, but the other fans, it was always like a one-arm hug, you know, a smile and a laugh here and there. But with us, she fully embraced us in a hug, and she was like, I'm sorry, but you can't fake that kind of emotion. There's just no way.
So, I mean, yeah, again, yeah, it's the difference.
So this kind of ties in with the Jenna thing. So there was, I'm sure you saw the Suspicious Quail, a YouTube account that sounds similar to you, Patrick. That account also had a Literotica page. And in that page, there was, do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't. He does, but I don't. I didn't know about that.
He stopped watching Reddit long before that came about.
I haven't looked at Reddit in months.
Okay, so there is another page called Suspicious Quail, which comes from, we think, from a YouTube account that sounds very similar to your father. I think this was maybe 11 or 12 years ago. And I think it sounds similar, but the Suspicious Quail account on the Literotica talked in some stories about three people. I believe it was Sarah and Hunter and their stories. And it talked about Hunter cooking with Dad and stuff. So this is where people kind of felt like there were similarities kind of linking back to you guys. I believe even in one of the names, there was like, I think it was Jeannie, something like that, which was similar to Jenna. So I think these are where people are connecting the dots with all these stories and stuff.
Well,
there's 7 billion people in the world. Do you know how many people are named Sarah and Hunter?
Yeah, but you got to realize these connections are coming in the fact that they're looking at these similarities and they're putting them all together to make an assumption. But no, I'd never had a YouTube account 12 years ago. I've seen the account they're talking about. I've heard the clip. It may sound a little similar to me, but at that time, I would never have been able to actually do a YouTube video like that. I couldn't barely even talk. I would literally take videos of myself making a golf swing and post it with text. I would never even open my mouth. I was too shy back then.
He was very shy back then. Like, this version of him is very recent.
And by the way, I've never, the game that they were playing, I believe, was Dark Souls. I've never played that game in my life.
I don't even know what that is.
I wish I knew how they initially found that account, because I know who found that account. It was the Nightmare team. I want to know how they actually found that account and found a video like that and could actually like, what were they looking for to find that account? Because honestly, it has absolutely nothing to do with me. It is so far away from me, it's probably in the stratosphere somewhere. I have never even heard of that account. And I certainly, like I said, certainly never heard of the Literotica account, because apparently they were writing stories, and I had been off Literotica long before that account, because that was like 20 years ago I was on Literotica. So
Yeah, not only that, but 12 years ago, Hunter was 3 and I was 12.
right.
So,
I had no idea about that account whatsoever. It literally took me off guard completely.
Yeah. I
mhm.
didn't even know about that.
Can I, because I don't know if both of you looked. Well, if you were on the Nightmare Dream Team or that page, they had posted a lot of screenshots from like little parts of the book and stuff. Do you mind if it's very short? It's nothing totally over revealing or anything, but can I just share a little piece just to see, and so you can see the connections that people are making as to why they're suspicious, if that's okay with you, and maybe you could have like a good, response to that. Like, is that okay with you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
It's not too,
Thank you, Patrick. Okay. So in one of the things, it does talk about a sheer red lingerie article of clothing that the father gives to the daughter. And now around that same time, there was a video that was made with the two of you where, Sarah, you're wearing a red long dress that is sheer. It has some frillies on it. And so those were some of the little pieces where people were making connections.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, by that logic, you can make that connection to hundreds of people who wear red dresses.
That dress is in
I
no
know, but
way
can you?
lingerie.
It may look like
No,
it on
I understand. It does look a little like it. It does look a little bit though, like the material and stuff. It might not be like sold like that, but people can, kind of draw that comparison to red lingerie.
a lot of things. But honestly, I didn't even give that. I didn't even. Yes, I bought that for Sarah, but I didn't even pick it out. That was
Can
somebody
I
at
just
work.
say one thing? I'm sorry. This actually has nothing to do with what we're talking about. People keep saying mute. I keep muting myself, so I don't know if it's me that is having the issue with the sound. I don't know if it's because it's my stand, but people keep saying mute, and I keep muting, and they still keep saying it. So I don't know, like, what the issue is. Like, what are they hearing?
Because the comments are delayed, so they're sending the comment before you mute, so that's why it's coming through after you mute.
Sorry, I just keep seeing.
Yeah, because we can hear it when you're like not muted, but once you're muted, we only hear us talking like real.
Okay, sorry. I will try to be better at trying to mute it. I don't know. I guess for me, I was kind of hoping that at least with the Ariel Bringman, there would be a little bit more truth. I will be honest, I still feel like it was created for financial means, maybe not any other way. That's why I said I think there's two truths here. Like, maybe there really is nothing going on between the two of you, and God, I hope that is true. And if you guys are sitting here saying it, I guess we have to take it at face value. But the Ariel page is just so, it's uncomfortable. Do you understand that?
Grasp is I wouldn't need to create an account for financial means. See, that's the part that really is disconnecting everybody from this whole situation. We are not struggling financially.
No, we're not.
We live where we live because we want to, because it's easier. And for the first 2 years, we couldn't find an apartment because we had an eviction on our record. That's public knowledge. Everybody on Reddit figured that out. Of course, they don't know the circumstances surrounding it. I'm going to go into it, but
somebody did contact me who knows you guys personally. quite well, and they had come to me and they had told me that you guys, especially Sarah, when you were younger, you guys had lived at a campground at one point, and that you guys were struggling financially and stuff, and you got out of New Hampshire and moved to Texas to try to kind of restart fresh. And that's kind of where you landed up at the extended motel, which there's nothing wrong with an extended motel. People need it. It's there for a reason.
You're missing a whole long piece of time there, Hannah. We didn't come directly from New Hampshire to the hotel. When we moved to Texas, we were in East Texas. We lived in a trailer near my mom's house. When we moved to Dallas, unfortunately, we became homeless for a little bit. Then we found an apartment, which we lived in for 7 years.
I thought it was 5.
7.
Oh.
Since 2014.
Okay, yeah.
And it was 2022 when we got evicted.
Yeah, so
and that's when we went to the extended stay hotel. And again, there's a whole long piece of time in between all these events that people are not seeing or understanding, because I don't feel the need to explain my entire life. It's these little pieces of our life that people are getting without any context that becomes the issue.
See, because we only share parts of our life, they think they have the right to piece together the rest of it. Like, just because we put parts of our life out here on social media doesn't mean we need to explain our entire life to everybody.
So what made you then move out? People don't believe that you moved out. And that somebody else had come forward with some messages showing that you had stated many times, like, there's no way on God's green earth you would ever move out. Like, you were going to stick by your parents forever until something changed. Like, that you just, in those messages, it seemed very much like you were so die hard on not moving out. And this was kind of recent. And so people are just curious, like, it seems so quick. Like, the Ariella stuff came out, the Literotica stuff came out, your accounts when, you guys went off TikTok, and then you came back being like, I have a corporate job, I have my own, little studio apartment at the extended hotel. And then you came out with that video showing your apartment, which was very like zoomed in, and you wouldn't show the whole thing. And you had stated before that people kind of already know where you live. So curious as to why you just wouldn't show the whole apartment, just to kind of prove the point of like, hey guys, I really did move out. I really do have a new job. Like, I'm making, moves to be independent and be on your own. So people are just curious, like, what was that concern of, hiding so much if people kind of already knew where you were at? And quickly, just to add into that little tidbit was, do you have your license? Did you get your license?
I haven't got my license yet, but I do have the course, and I am working to get my license. I'm working towards it, but working 5 days a week, it's very difficult, because I have to, I wake up and come home, and then I only have a few hours before I have to go to bed because I have to be up too early. So I don't have much time to do it, but I am actively working on getting my license. It's so a long then process. People are curious. The whole course is like 6 hours long, so it's a long process, but I'm working through it.
So people are curious then if you got your own apartment. I think in one of your actual comments to somebody else, you had said you're about 30 minutes from your parents. So how are you getting transportation back and forth to, your job and seeing your parents every day? Are they coming to you? Are you going to them? Are you Ubering? Like, kind of what does that look like?
Okay, well, first of all, I want to make this very clear. I did move out, but I didn't move far. I moved to the next building, because it's easier that way. That way they don't have to go very far when they need to pick up Jackie, because again, I don't want to leave her alone for 10 hours per day with her anxiety issues. But it's like, I take Uber back and forth to work because it's really the only logical way to get to work. Like, a bus ticket is like $5. Well, actually, Uber's more expensive, but I prefer Uber because I don't want to take a bus to work. So I Uber back and forth to work, and they just come pick up Jackie and take her to their apartment, and then, And the reason I don't show my whole apartment is for my own personal safety reasons, because I just don't, like, that's like my own space. I just don't want to be showing my entire personal space online.
And of course, you know, I guess it probably would be a good idea to explain why you lied about being 30 minutes away.
It's because I didn't want, I don't really know how to explain it. I didn't want people to, like, come at me because I didn't move farther away. Like, I didn't want to be, you know, bullied into, like, why didn't you move further away? Why did you only move out of the building? It's personal safety reasons. Like, I don't want to be attacked because I didn't move far enough away.
Okay, so you have a new job, that's true?
Yes.
And how's that going? Have you made friends? Because I know you made a video that you were going out with coworkers, I think.
Yeah, it was one of my coworkers' birthday. She was turning 24, and she invited me to her birthday party at my house, and I've made quite a few friends at my new job. They're all super, super nice. Me and one of my coworkers' sisters were like this, like sisters who were born from other, you know, another family. Like, we're like this. So it's just like, I have made quite a few friends, and they're really so amazing. Like,
people are wondering.
Obviously, they
Sorry,
know.
what?
They know about my TikTok, but they have no desire to be involved in it at all. That's why I don't film them.
Another question people had was, what is up with the injuries, the braces and stuff?
Okay.
That's a topic of discussion a lot of times, and people posting about that. So, what can you elaborate on that?
I'm clumsy. Okay, I'll just be perfectly honest. I'm clumsy. I trip over my own 2 feet half the time. This recent one was actually, I was running with Jackie, and I sort of tripped on my own 2 feet and twisted my knee. So it's just a sprained ligament. I've graduated from the brace to the ace bandage, so it's getting better. But seriously, like, that's the most honest answer I can give, is I'm very clumsy. I trip over my own 2 feet. I trip over nothing half the time.
The other question people have is, why, Patrick, I guess this may be more specifically for you, it seemed people feel like you post a lot more about Sarah than Theresa or Hunter. Granted, I don't want to talk too much about Hunter due to the fact that he is a minor, and I don't think that's fair to him, so I don't really want to touch too much on Hunter. So I'm going to give the respect there for that. So people are just curious as to why you post a lot of, like, lovey-dovey stuff towards her.
Well, if you look, I mean, if we could go back in history, which unfortunately we can't, because half of my social media is now private for obvious reasons, but most of that has been very recently. And there's
my phone's at 6%.
Oh shoot! And there's a very big reason for that. Sarah had a hard time for a while, and we've talked about this before. Sarah has.
Yep,
She does.
It's about to die.
Oh crap!
I'm at 5%. I didn't even realize it was at 40% when we left the house. When we left, so.
Maybe we'll have to pick this up on my account on my phone. Shoot.
Yeah, because I'm literally at 5%. My phone's about to die.
Yeah, I've got 72%, so I'm good.
Yeah, we'll have to pick this up on his account because my phone's about to die.
Okay. All right. On the unscripted one?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see if.
Okay.
Wait, he might not. Well, he doesn't have live capabilities.
Why don't I have? I've got almost 2,000 followers now. Why don't I have live access?
I'll log into my account on your phone, and we'll do it on my account. I'm just gonna log into my account on his phone, and we'll pick it up over there.
Good morning. So I already have posted proof.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll be right back.
Be lying about a couple things, but you guys are also telling some truth, so that's important. So I think
people are gonna believe what they want to believe, and we can't change that. So there's really no point in trying to. Like, they're gonna believe what they want to believe, and no matter how much we try and change their beliefs, they're not gonna change.
Well, you want to know, if you want to know the honest truth, admitting that I had a addiction in my 20s is probably going to get me a lot more hate on Reddit, but I don't care.
And it was a big leap of courage for you to do that. Not many people would admit that.
People don't understand I have a past.
Everybody has a
I made
past.
mistakes. But in recent years, I've really started to take more responsibility for my actions. But the problem is no matter what I say, no matter what I try to, how I say something, somebody's always going to have a problem. And that's kind of where I've been for most of the last 3 years.
You know, another thing, well, there's two things. One is, a lot of people attack your guys' looks. Theresa's, your looks. Gonna be, I a few times did in my videos. You know what I mean? Like, I'm being truthful here.
These are the topic of most of the questions about my look.
So my question to you guys, how does that make you feel? How does that make you guys feel when you guys see that kind of stuff where it's constant?
Honestly, it doesn't affect me at all. Like, if someone doesn't like the way I look, it's like, okay, then don't watch my videos. I'm confident enough in myself to know that I am beautiful. I am pretty. Like, they can call me ugly all they want. They can call me fat. They can call me overweight. They can say my bangs look like SHIT. But honestly, I believe that I'm beautiful. Oh my God, thank you so much for the Night Star. I'm sorry, I just had to thank that person. But I know in myself that I am beautiful, and I know that no matter how much people say that I'm not, I know I am. That's all that matters.
Hey, Sarah.
Huh.
Sorry.
I will say one thing.
What?
I did tell you that you were going to get criticism when you tried to cut your own bangs.
Yes, I know. I just didn't feel like going to the salon for just cutting bangs. I just figured if I do it myself, it's easier. And then I looked in the mirror the next day and I'm like, why did I do that? I didn't want to go to the salon for something as simple as bangs.
I will say, Sarah, you do seem, we obviously don't know when exactly you moved out, but what I can say from my own perspective, you do seem a lot happier, and you do have a little bit of a change of yourself.
Well, it's because I'll be honest, it's because the new job has given me that level of confidence and happiness, because my old job was just a simple grocery store job. Like, everybody has a grocery store job. But when I started working for the company I work for now, it felt, okay, let me put it this way. A lot of teenagers and younger people work at grocery stores because it's an easy job to get. But when I got this office job, it made me feel older because it's a more professional job. I have to dress up for my job. I have to look like a professional. And that's kind of what gave me the confidence and the happiness that you see in my videos, because it makes me feel older. Because a lot of people, they still think I'm like a child, like a teenager. But the fact that I have this job now, it makes me feel older. That's why I seem more confident and more happy.
I forgot my train of thought. I was going to ask you a question. Do you still plan to do anything with SeaWorld? Is that still a dream of yours?
That is 100% still my goal. But the only thing is I'm doing this job I'm doing now because the courses that I want to get are quite expensive. They're in the pricey range. So I have this job now so that I can save as much as I can over the next few months. That way I can get the courses I need. But honestly, living on my own, so I have to pay rent, I have to buy my own food, I have to buy stuff for Jackie, for the reptiles I have. So there's all of that money going into that, plus the money that I'm saving for my schooling. So it's going to take a while, but I am definitely 100% still working on that.
The other thing is, you know, when you guys first started off with all the dancing videos and stuff, like, can you see why people were a little uncomfortable? Like, you know, some of the song choices that you guys picked, you know, like, can you see why, you know, those are more for couples? You know, you know, because I was thinking about this situation. I'm like, I feel like if you guys had started off maybe doing some more not so lovey-dovey type content, it might have not have led you down this road.
I'll admit here, most of that was me. Because I'm the one who wanted to start the channel in the first place, so for the first, like, month or two, I was the one picking most of the dances, and the only reason that it was those songs is because they're songs that I enjoy. So I figured if I'm dancing to a song I enjoy, I might do it better than one that I barely even know.
And especially with the lip syncs that we did. I know a lot of people had a problem with the lip syncs because they were couples songs.
But again, they're songs that we enjoy.
And that we know well.
Yeah.
And I agree we might have taken it a little too far with the whole way that we acted the song with the lip syncs. But at the end of the day, honestly, we weren't trying to do any of this, like, make people upset. It's just that we didn't see a problem with it because we're so confident with each other. We're so close that it doesn't even enter into our minds, really.
Yeah, it's like when we started seeing all this stuff, we're sitting here going, how can anybody think that? Like, we couldn't understand how their minds immediately went to that. Like,
well, I think too, the purity ring video came out, and what I can say too about that is, you know, religion is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people. A lot of people have, you know, religious abuse and different traumas and stuff, and so, you know, obviously purity ring in some, you know, Baptist evangelical type, you know, religions is a thing. It's a very real thing. In the Mormon church, it's a thing. Usually those are a little bit more privately done. So I think when that video came out, you did that. And then, you know, it kind of trickled into people really kind of analyzing your videos. And a lot of people in here are asking about the ring and Theresa. Does Theresa have a ring?
Theresa and I have not had wedding rings for probably about 10 years now. We hit a financial snag back then, and we ended up having to pawn them. It happens to a lot of couples. And after that, we just never even thought of it. We didn't even think about it.
It's because they feel like they don't need a piece of metal around their hand to symbolize their marriage. Like, they love each other. They know they're married. They know they love each other. They don't feel like they need a piece of metal on their finger to prove that.
So it didn't even occur to us that, oh, we don't have wedding rings anymore.
There's a noise, I think, from your phone.
Uh-oh.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, you know, yes, I agree with you. And a lot of people don't do rings, or maybe they don't wear their rings and stuff. But don't you? I mean, this is coming from a wife. I would be a little off if my husband, you know, gave my daughter a ring, and I'm sitting over here like, yeah, we might both agree to a certain extent, but I want a ring. Like, what? Don't you? I mean, you said you bought the ring at Walmart, right?
Your first ring, yes.
Wait, her first ring. So she has two rings?
No, the first one didn't fit.
So
oh, okay.
But actually, most of that was Theresa's idea, honestly. Most of that whole thing was Theresa's idea. We both, like I said, that was at a time when Sarah was coming out of a time in her life where she was feeling less than...
I was feeling wanted for something I wasn't willing to give.
And she had a lot of...
I had a lot of darkness in my life.
So I
actually elaborate? And you don't have to, obviously, if you don't feel comfortable about the darkness, because you've talked about that a lot, but what do you mean by darkness? Is that the lesbian type stuff that people are talking about on Reddit?
Well, that's all, excuse my French. Like they're taking it way out of context. What I mean by darkness is that was at a point where I was being basically pressured by a lot of people to have a boyfriend or a relationship because they thought that because I was like almost 22, 20, was it 20? Yeah, it was 21. I was almost 21 years old and still didn't have a boyfriend. So they were like, it was like the pressure from a bunch of people to have a boyfriend. So I had met several different guys and they all wanted something I wasn't willing to give. And I'm pretty sure we can all figure out what that is. But I didn't feel like I was worth it. I didn't feel like that, like I would find someone who was willing to wait. And I started to feel pressured to just give in and like do it because that's the only way I was going to find someone who would stay with me. And then it was like I went to my parents and I sort of, just kind of let it all out. And I'm like, look, this is how I'm feeling. This is what's going on. I just need your support to like remind me of my beliefs and like keep me on the straight and narrow, because I knew in my heart that it wasn't right to do that. But my brain kept thinking the other way. My brain kept saying, just give in, while my heart was saying, don't do it. And I needed to be reminded of my beliefs. And after that was when the whole purity ring happened.
And when I did it, the reason I filmed it is because Theresa and I had talked about it. We were going to film it and like keep it for us. But Sarah actually wanted to post it on our Christian channel.
Because I thought it was cute. I thought it was a sweet way to gift me my purity ring. But now looking back and seeing all the hate that we got for it, I can understand that was a mistake.
Yeah, we shouldn't have posted it publicly.
Yeah.
That's a private thing. That's for us. We know what it was about.
And
we know the feelings behind it.
Yeah.
But
your prior comment about people having religious trauma, I totally get that. But at the same time, the Bible literally says to not be ashamed. So I am not going to hide my beliefs. But people are going to take that as I'm pushing it down their throats, and I'm not. I'm just not ashamed to let people know that I am a child of God. That's not something I'm going to hide.
Absolutely. And I wasn't saying that as if something you have to hide, but just to get an idea of other people's perspectives, especially at that time.
I do understand the religious trauma and that people may have a problem with Christians, but I just don't think that's a reason to hide it. Like, I do feel for these people who have had things happen, but I'm not going to hide my beliefs.
But at the same time, that purity ring video was a little bit more than that, and we've admitted before that was a mistake.
It was.
Posting it publicly.
Time to get Theresa a ring, though. You should get Theresa a ring.
Well, I will. I think I probably will.
Oh, it's hard to hear you. What?
Still, especially working in fast food.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. You kind of cut out for a second. What did you say?
I said, you know what? I'll tell you what. Next time, when I get a chance, I will get both of us a ring.
Yeah, because I know it's kind of like a thing for people. They ask a lot on you guys.
Well, hey, if that was some of the rumors, I'll be happy to do it, but I doubt it will.
And it's like I said,
I don't know if it could be because of the rumors, but it's. I'll be honest. Asking you this question, it seems like you're a little hesitant, and you seem a little uncomfortable with that question of getting her a ring.
Well, the reason I'm uncomfortable is because it seems like it's pressure to do something that we haven't had to do for 10 years, that it hasn't affected our relationship in any way, but it feels like pressure to me. Like,
being pressured to do something that is something that we literally have no problem with. It's only everybody else who has a problem with it. So that's where the uncomfortableness comes in. Just being completely honest.
Oh, I hear you, and I appreciate the honesty. I do think, though, when it comes to your significant other, it should never feel like pressure to do something out of love for them. You know, I especially if you're already married. But that's just my opinion. You know, but if that is how you feel, that is how you feel. You know, so I can't control on you. You know.
Like I said, it's not something that we've ever really thought about until people started mentioning it, because honestly, the love that we have goes well beyond rings, well beyond anything. And Sarah's ring is a completely different thing. It doesn't have anything to do with me or Theresa.
Oh, Galaxy!
It was something we did for Sarah because we knew that's what Sarah needed at the time.
Yeah. And see, there's that whole thing that people think, well, what if people think you're not married? I'm sorry, but if they're walking around in public, there is absolutely no way you can mistake them for not being married. Like, I'm sorry, but it is so clear that they are married when they're out in public. Like, they're holding hands. He's got his arm around her. He kisses her on the cheek. He even kisses her on the lips in public. Like, he don't care.
It's my wife.
Yeah, so I think that's, you know, something else people, hold on, some people were, you know, curious, especially sometimes when you guys are live and stuff, where so I know you guys have said, you know, Theresa doesn't like being in front of the camera, but the way I view it on the other side of the screen is, I feel, okay, well, let me say two things. One, I think Theresa is hilarious, first of all. I find her so funny. She makes me laugh so hard, and I do really enjoy her. The second thing is, though, sometimes in the videos where Theresa tries to, like, come over and love on you and, you know, all this stuff, there does seem to be a little bit of a pushback. The body language kind of changes, but then I'm just telling you what other people notice so we can, you know, but when Sarah then, like, leans on you or rubs your shoulder or, you know, flicks your ear, the body language kind of perks back up to, like, a kind of comfortable space. So can you elaborate on that a little bit? Maybe, like, you know.
I mean, honestly, if you want me to be perfectly honest, any uncomfortableness that I have when we're on camera with Theresa, it just stems from the fact that I know how uncomfortable she is. She's
uncomfortable. She's so goofy. She's making jokes, and
that's the thing. On live, she's beautiful.
Because she's behind the camera. She's not in the video, so they, you know.
Even when she is in the video, it's more of a relaxed environment because she feels more like she's talking to people like normal. It's when she gets in front of the camera, like when we do our lip syncs. Sometimes she's a little nervous to do those, but most of the time it's just when she's talking to the camera, like when she has to say something or when she has to, you know, be in front of the camera when she's being recorded. It's kind of a different thing for her, and I don't know why. She loves it. She actually loves being seen on camera, but she just gets nervous, and I want to help her with that.
It's a nerve thing because it comes, like, I had the same problem when I was younger. Like, you feel like it has to be perfect, so you get, like, nervous if you don't, like, you get nervous, so it's like it doesn't come out the way you expect it to.
Yeah, but why does that make you uncomfortable, though, Patrick? Because if she is behind you and she's loving you and she's giggling and she makes silly little jokes, why would that make you feel uncomfortable?
It's a sympathetic.
No. Here's the reason I get uncomfortable, and I'll be perfectly honest. I get uncomfortable because I'm afraid of the way people see her. So many people have come online and started this whole she's mentally delayed and all this other stuff. Completely untrue. It only comes through in the way she acts because she acts so childlike, which we all do. But, you know, this is when people...
Hold on, I think, real quick, I think, though, that also comes from sometimes how, Sarah, you act with your mother. To perfectly honest, I'm a mother. I have 4 kids, okay? So seeing you, your mom, you treat her with like you're teaching her or you're talking to her kind of like she's a little bit of a child. And I'm not meaning this out of disrespect. I promise you, this is coming from a very genuine, respectful place while I'm saying this. And I'm not meaning to upset you at all. I'm just saying that's what it seems to people. You seem very bright, Sarah. I've said that multiple times in my videos. I think you're very smart. You're very intelligent. And so that's just kind of what people are gathering, that you treat her a little bit more like a child, like the video when you took her shopping, kind of guiding her and stuff. And, you know, I don't think anybody has an issue with anybody who might have some challenges. It's lots of people do, you know, so I don't think people are making fun of her. I think people are just like, you know, curious. Is there something going on where Sarah recognizes it? And so she kind of takes on that role a little bit to help her. Because a lot of people in this chat are all saying that they love Theresa. Everybody is saying that they love Theresa.
Who wouldn't love her? She's incredible. And I mean, I get how people might think, but I talk like that with everybody. I talk like that with Hunter, with my dad, with my mom, even my nana. I'm a very, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm a very grown up kind of person. I talk to everybody in a more mature way because sometimes, I mean, not all the time, but sometimes I do, because it's not that I'm trying to correct her or like make myself smarter than her. That's how I talk. Like I can't help it.
Not to mention the fact that you have a big problem with people saying words wrong.
I do. It's like a pet peeve.
And you sometimes you'll correct her, and I've on several occasions corrected you.
I'm trying to stop, honestly, but it's just like a pet peeve of mine. When someone says something wrong, I have to correct it because it's like I don't like that. That's and I get how it can come off as condescending, but I promise I'm not trying to sound like that. It's how I talk.
You're being condescending. I don't see that. I actually see when you're with Theresa, it's a much like a loving kind of way a lot of times. Sometimes I have made a video once where I stated you seemed a little annoyed with her when she requested you sing a song. I think that was like a live a while back, but I don't know, like there's definitely different dynamics with all of you. I mean, I would say Patrick and Sarah, you guys seem a lot closer. You guys seem, you know, very similar in your personalities, the way that you guys talk to each other. It is very different though, how Patrick talks to Theresa. Okay, truth is, you guys, the way you two act together would be how a couple would act. I'm laying it out there. It does.
Yes.
I'm the first child. I'm the baby. I was born on Father's Day. There's a connection here that a lot of people don't understand.
I think it stems a lot from the fact that we are so close to being almost identical. We're almost like twins.
We finish each other's sentences sometimes.
It's natural for us. And I can see it. I've seen the videos. I can see where people see it. But it's not easy for us to not be like that, because that's how we've been our whole life. Her whole life. Well, not her whole life.
No,
when she was a younger kid.
I think people would probably be more accepting of that if the Ariella Brigman and the other Literotica things came out. Also, like with the Ariella thing, it does sound similar to the character of your book. I know they're not the same name, but they do sound similar. And you both have admitted you guys like writing. You guys work together on this book.
The character in the book that they're trying to connect to, this Ariella, she's a dragon. Ariella's a human. There's absolutely no connection whatsoever.
Honestly,
I think it was just the name, not like the actual like the dragon and, you know, Ariella being similar in that way. I think it's just the name, you know. But come on, you guys, there's just so many similarities. It's so hard. Like I could bypass, you know, the other two, you know, Literotic ones. Those, okay, I can back off and say, you know what, I believe you guys. I'll get off that. But the Ariella I can feel it. I can feel it deep inside that this was for financial gain. And I can just tell, like, I just feel like it is, you know? I just wish, if it is, you will just come out and say, listen, it was for money. Who cares, you know? Like, that doesn't tie, like, whatever. The little erotica stuff, whatever, push that to the side. The Ariella. Can you just give it to us? Come on, man. People are gonna respect you. You're gonna have people come out and be like, you know what? Thank you. You're going to gain respect because right now people are watching this going, liar, liar. And you don't want that. You want to come back. You want to start fresh. Right, Patrick? You want to come back with your daughter. You want to do your cooking stuff because people love your cooking stuff, right? Like, yeah. You guys have a good online presence. Let's rebuild it and start with just the truth of the Ariella. We all know, man. I can see your body language. Like, who cares? You did nothing bad. There was nothing illegal that you did on it. Or if it was you, there was nothing illegal. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing. That's.
But the problem is like I said, I did not do. I don't even know how to do that. The AI thing.
Hold on. But your Twitter account.
Let me clarify. I don't know how to actually make the same face appear every single time with different poses, different positions. I don't know how that's done. I've made AI photos, yes. My second book cover, the dragon, I generated that with AI. But I put the same prompt in 10 times and got 10 different dragons. I don't know how to make it consistent. That's my problem. Is like people are connecting this to me. I can't make a consistent image.
But there wasn't that much though. Now, I don't know what was done behind some of the other like the NF's whatever page or the fan view or whatever it was, but the actual Instagram account, the stuff on Spotify and stuff, it wasn't consistent. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, Patrick, like I would say you're pretty smart if you're able to create video games. If you have been able to, I mean, I looked into you and I saw things from years ago where you tried to start businesses. Like you're good on the computer. You are good on the computer. So for you to downplay that you wouldn't know AI, that's mind blowing because you've been able to do so much.
I use AI for lots of things. I'm just saying I don't know how to make it even close to consistent. I don't. And that's what you need for an account like that, because you say it wasn't consistent, but the pictures I've seen were all the same face. I can't.
Well, I mean, there are different, but there are different softwares and stuff that you can use, and sometimes, you know, let's be real, some of the pictures, like the face was a little distorted at some points. It wasn't perfect in every single picture. I think let's can we just play devil's advocate for a second? Let's say that it was you, okay? Hold on. Let's hear me out for a second. Let's say it was you, okay? Why would there be shame not coming out and admitting it? Because there was nothing illegal on that.
True.
Is it just the fear of like, man, like it was me, guys, like I was probably not the best thing to do doing that, you know, like, I mean, I feel like it is. But if it is you, like I said, there's nothing illegal on it, so why not just tell the truth? It's going to help you. I promise you, if you were just honest about it, people will respect you and people will back off of you. People are not going to let this go. And I'm here with you with 4.5 thousand people, and there's 14,000 people on Reddit who are coming at you hard. They're coming for the jugular with you. And they're not going to let up because they feel like they just want a little bit of the truth. You don't want to share everything? That's fine. You don't have to. That's your prerogative. But just this one thing, I guarantee you, if you're honest, you're going to wake up feeling, if you believe in God, right?
Yeah.
I do too. I've come to know God, and
I've seen your recent content.
as long as it's not illegal. That account on Reddit and on Instagram and on Venmo, that is not illegal. That is 100% fine. Okay, here's the thing too. You can literally type up AIP on the internet and there's thousands of it on there. People enjoy that stuff. I don't. I'm not a fan of it, but people do. Who cares? People will pay top dollar for a hot looking AI model. They're starting to bring them into movies. I just think if you're just honest about this, people will finally be like, oh my God, thank God. Like, here we are, the truth. Like, people will start to trust you. You want that, right?
Yeah. But here's the thing. Honestly, you know what? Honestly, yeah, I created the Ariel account. I made that account.
Patrick, thank you. You have been set free, man. You're set free. Doesn't that feel good? Sarah,
really,
give your father a hug.
really
Give that man a hug, because that is the most. I'm not a grifter.
Wait a second. Pause just a minute. You're 32. You do not look 32, Hannah.
I know, people tell me that all the time.
You look way younger than that.
Yeah, 32.
Oh,
Yeah.
I already.
And you gotta get up.
I gotta get home because I gotta get up in the morning.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. You're good.
I do just want to say to everybody in the chat who has just sent some really nice messages, thank you. You didn't see it, but a lot of people in the messages were saying God forgives, and you did amazing.
It's not God I'm worried about.
What are you worried about? Reddit?
No, everybody on the internet.
You know, people have done worse. Patrick. People have done worse. So you take a deep breath, take a nice hot shower tonight. The great thing is you have your
About my weight. They talk about how creepy my dad is.
Actually, they don't talk about your weight. That gets deleted instantly. The moderators are actually pretty good on there.
Oh, yeah, well, still, they talk about stuff that it's just like that they talk about to keep their algorithm happy.
Yeah, I mean, people will say whatever they want. You can't control what other people say. You know, everyone has opinions and they're entitled to their opinions, you know. At the end of the day, all you your truth is your truth. And you've already made 2 big steps. Well, Sarah made a big step by telling the truth about where she lives. You made 2 big steps admitting that you had an addiction and that you did that. So I think that is pretty heavy stuff that you were honest about tonight. And I think a lot of people are going to have a little bit more respect for you for finally telling the truth. So I think good steps, Patrick. Bravo.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you. That account was supposed to be just an Instagram account that was a model, and then it got out of control when Sandview came into the picture. And that's one of the reasons why I deleted it, not just because Reddit found it.
Because it was weighing heavily on his heart, because it was like, that kind of stuff is not what Christians do, and that was weighing heavily on his heart. That's why he deleted it.
Guilt can definitely eat you alive, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But you let it out. So, good job. I know it's hard. You guys okay?
I'll be fine.
Yeah, we will be.
I'll just take it as it comes.
What?
I said I'm just going to take it as it comes. I'm going to move forward. And honestly, if people can't forgive me, I've got God to forgive me, and that's all that matters.
We don't need people's forgiveness. The only one that matters is God anyway, so.
That is true. The only man you need forgiveness from is the man upstairs.
I don't want to speak for you, Hannah, but I can pretty much tell you I think Hannah forgives you too.
I've always said, and I always teach my kids this, is honesty is the best policy. I can't forgive a liar, but I can forgive somebody who tells the truth. Because telling the truth is really hard, and it takes a lot of girth and balls to be able to do that. And, everything we do in this life, there's a consequence. Whether it's a good action or a bad action, there's a consequence to it. And so, I think you've been dealing with the consequences of all the hate, the Reddit, having to get off TikTok and stuff. So you telling the truth it takes a man to be able to tell the truth. And I could tell in this live that you wanted to. And that's why I kind of pulled it out of you, because it's like I can see it. I can see the body language.
Well, I gotta get going, but I want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome, Patrick. I'm glad we were able to do this.
Being respectful for not being forceful, but persistent. And if you want me to be completely honest, I was really close to telling the truth until the Literotica account was found. And that scared the hell out of me.
Because he thought that people were gonna think that was him, and when he told me that people had a Literotica account, he told me he was scared because he thought that people were gonna connect that with him, and because he knows he can't write that stuff. That's what scared him, is because they thought it would be connected to him, and he knows, we all know for a fact that he could never, ever write that stuff.
So, I'm a writer, but not of that.
Yeah.
I understand. And I people kept saying to me, oh, you gotta go in on them. You gotta say this, ask about this. And you're not going to go anywhere when you're mean to somebody. You're not going to go anywhere. If you want an honest conversation, you have to be respectful. You have to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I felt like going into this, I just wanted to try to be a friend, I guess, to you, and just show you I'm not this evil that I sometimes portray in some of my videos and the things that I say. And
I'll be perfectly honest. When I first saw your videos, I don't like using this word a lot, but I hated you.
I told her the same
when
thing,
I
Sarah.
first saw your videos, I really hated you. And then recently it's got better. And now from this interview, I do have a lot of respect for you, Hannah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I figured you guys didn't like me when you were and that bitch with 90,000 followers. I was like, they saw my stuff. I was like, all right.
I was not happy.
I was not happy. Whenever he showed me any of those videos, or I saw them myself, I will tell you right now, there were a few choice words that I said about you.
And I'll ask your forgiveness for that, because I
judged
Yes,
you
please.
when I shouldn't have, because that's not the Christian thing to do.
Yeah, no, please forgive us. We judged you way too soon.
No, all is good. Like I said, I'm just glad we were able to do this, and I'm glad you were able, to share your truth, because that's important. We all have our truths, So it's important to be able to tell it. Set yourself.
That you were respectful and willing to hear us out rather than just, oh, you're a liar, or oh, you're not telling the truth. You were respectful and willing to hear us out, and that's what I appreciate.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we're going to head out.
All right.
I've got to get to I got to be up at 6 o'clock, so I got to be to work by 8.
Well, I'm leaving for vacation at 5 a.m., so I gotta get to bed.
God. Go to bed, Hannah. Go to bed.
Later for you.
Yeah. We're taking the kids to Disney World, so.
Oh, they're going to have so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the best place on earth. What?
What time is it there?
It's almost, it's 10:30.
Where do you live?
Well, I am from the good old state of New Hampshire.
Oh!
That is why I said earlier people message me, because we have quite a few mutuals.
Oh my God, that's awesome!
Where are you in New Hampshire? No, never mind. Forget about that.
No, you know what? I don't care, because I've said it. I'm from Bedford.
Bedford.
Oh.
You know right where that is. Been around that area a month.
Yeah.
I was born and raised in Woodsville.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was born in Peterborough, but I was raised in Hillsborough.
Yeah, Hillsboro's not too far.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not too far at all. We've been through Bedford many times. There's a couple fishing holes up near there.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. So, yeah. So.
Right. Well, we're gonna get going. Thank you so much, Hannah, for the interview. I'm so glad.
You're welcome. Bravo, Patrick. Good job. Woo!
All right. Well, I'll probably be talking to you sometime.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
So they deny Theresa being mentally delayed, which I think is very interesting. But one thing that I also noticed about this is that she is really weirdly nice to them, and she says at the end oh, you don't have to be evil or mean to these people to get answers. And in a way that's true. You can fake being nice to them, but at the same time I would have done it in such a different way where it's actual interview. There's too much buddying with these people. But I mean, acting like this and being this way could also help her get inside a bit easier and a bit more. And you'll see more examples of that later. But I just felt I just wasn't really comfortable with how she was talking to them so friendly and to me that was really weird. And to me that kind of bothered me the entire time. That you can have a balance of being hey, don't forget you are seen as not a great person. And hey, you need to answer this and be nice. She the whole breathe thing, the breathe, make sure to breathe. You know what I mean? It worked, I guess. It was a motherly type of deal, and maybe Patrick needs that because he hasn't been around his family in a minute. Or has he? Well, I mean, oh, they also did talk about the family too. That was another interesting thing. Still bringing around the brothers despite, their past and history, and then saying, oh, it's because we're Christian. But I mean, I feel like you can still part ways with certain people, you know what I mean? I feel like that's valid to do, especially for your own safety, and at least they're not alone in the same room with these brothers. But it's just kind of weird. But other than that, we'll get on to the rest of the video. I just thought it was kind of weird. She was way too nice to them, and that bothered me a bit.
As you can see, for whatever reason, in the fall, they go to the park to make this whole interview live stream instead of just doing it at the extended stay. I feel like this is out of some overthinking fear or some paranoia that people would hear what they are talking about through the walls maybe. I don't know, but they were always at the park for whatever reason, and like there was no reason for them to be at the park for this. Maybe it was so that like Theresa and Hunter didn't have to hear the conversation. I don't know. But Patrick struggles at times to talk for whatever reason. I'm guessing like the lady just completely locked him up. Sarah interrupts a time or two to speak for Patrick, which I think is weird. I don't know why Sarah was also so happy about the viewer count whenever it was for a bad reason. That's truly mentally delayed behavior and childlike, because what do you mean like, we have 4K viewers, yay? But it's for like responding to allegations. What is your thought process? Like, how Sarah says that she moved into the building across from them. That was like one of their first admissions, or one of their admissions in this, which I don't believe and no one else believes either, and you'll all see why in a little bit. They also talk about JF again in a delusional manner. Sadly, that poor girl can't be left alone. It's also truly sad if they had to pawn the wedding rings. Although, like, don't get me wrong, I don't like Patrick, and I think that Theresa's in, like, a terrible situation. It's just sad to be like, wow, Theresa doesn't even get to keep the ring. But if that was the case, that they had to pawn them, why get Sarah one? Why not, like, try to focus on getting your wife one? And I think they say something about Theresa acting like a child. I wonder why. I'm guessing they don't admit that she's mentally delayed or anything of the sort. And of course, the big reveal of Patrick admitting it. Not only about the Ariala AI account, but also the other accounts as well on Literotica, I think. Like, there was another one, like Suspicious Quail, that we talked about before that he kind of locked up about, that apparently Sarah didn't even look like she knew about either. But he also admitted to being a corn addict, to say the least. He didn't admit to the Literotica account, but I thought that was also included in this, but he just admits to, like, the Instagram and stuff like that. I feel like he uses the whole addiction thing as a cover-up as to why he made the accounts and such, because he can blame that for, you know, the AI account and the stories, instead of just, you know, admitting that he's attracted to Sarah. Allegedly. There was also some fear and awkwardness in the live stream. It's even weirder whenever you consider a dad and daughter are sitting down and having this conversation. They really just need to leave the internet. Patrick's response. Patrick made a couple of videos following up his admission to the Ariala account, quote, clarifying some things and more. Here is the first video.
Hello everybody. So, for those of you who did not see the live interview with Hannah, I finally came out and admitted to creating the Ariala AI account. Now, as far as the Literotica account, I did not create that. I wouldn't. I couldn't. I did create the AI account. It didn't start off as a corn account. It was just supposed to be an AI model, hopefully doing sponsorships at some point, but it got away from me, and I started doing things that I really didn't want to do on FanView. I'm not proud of it. It was a mistake. I've already asked my family's forgiveness a long time ago, and God's forgiveness, but I guess I'm asking for y'all's forgiveness. Not really for what I've done, because it wasn't completely horribly off the charts wrong, but more for lying about it and deceiving everyone for so long. I really was about to come out and admit it before we dropped the Dream Team account, but then when Reddit found that Literotica account, I got scared, because I knew if I came out and admitted to the AI account that they would then say automatically the Literotica account had to be mine as well, and I did not want to be associated with that account. I never made that account. I never wrote that story. I know Reddit's not going to believe me. I'm hoping some of you will be kind enough to give me the benefit of the doubt, in that maybe I lost my way and made that AI account, but I don't think I could never go as far as the Literotica. So anyway, I know I promised answers to questions about Jenna and about questions about Jenna and about the purity ring video. I did answer both of those questions in the live, but for those of you who weren't there, I will try and make a video to each of those comments as I promised. I don't know where I'm going to go from here, honestly. I'm going to try to get back to my cooking and try to get back to some semblance of normal. But anyway, thank you so much, Hannah, for conducting the interview respectfully. I know you didn't agree with me on a lot of points, and I know you don't completely agree with me on a lot of stuff, but the fact that you conducted yourself respectfully and without being forceful, I do appreciate that, and I appreciate your persistence in pushing me to finally admit the Ariella account. So, anyway, I do hope that you all understand, but unfortunately not everybody's going to, and I'm going to have to deal with that. So, where I go from here is completely up in the air at this point, but I will try to let you guys know. Anyway, I've got to go settle down. It's been a long night, and it's been an emotional roller coaster. So, anyway, good night, everybody, and I will see you in the next video whenever that comes to pass.
From my memory, he is lying again, as the dates of the Ariella account being made, the Literatica account making stuff, this evidence is also against him. Maybe he's saying all this or like trying to say the Literatica account isn't him because of regret. I'm not sure. He also did these corny things like roll his eyes and sigh like a lot of people do in their apology videos. But here's the second video.
Hello, everybody. So, I just wanted to go ahead and dispel all the rumors from the comments, because there's some really crazy stuff being said in the comments that's absolutely not true, and I want to make sure everybody gets the understanding of the truth of the AI Ariella Brigman account. Okay, so the account I created was initially a a model account, an Instagram model account. I had heard about AI influencers, and it was something that I thought maybe I could accomplish. So I made images for Instagram, all of which were, I mean, there was some lingerie, but it was everything's covered, no real NSFW stuff. Of course, you can't do that on Instagram. So it was just a model trying to build a following, such on and so forth. I then created the TikTok account. The TikTok account, of course, is where I posted the AI song and music video. And then it was after I created that account that I started doing some research into how AI influencers made money, and I learned about FanView and started that whole line, which FanView is basically a site like OnlyFans, so you can imagine the type of images. Now, none of this had anything to do with father-daughter, anything like that. Sarah wasn't even involved beyond actually lip-syncing the AI song. In fact, she didn't even know about FanView until way after the fact. All she knew was it was an AI model, and so Sarah wasn't involved in any of this. So that rumor can stop right now. The other rumor that can stop right now is that I used the image of Jenna to create the AI model. Incorrect. I used a standard text prompt. All I did was put a text prompt in that says I want a young woman, a young beautiful woman, light brown hair, brown eyes, because everybody was doing blonde hair, blue eyes. I wanted to make it different. I wanted to make it stand out. That's it. So it was a completely random generation. Any similarities is purely coincidence, and probably in most people's minds, because I never even saw that. So, no, I did not base it off of Jenna. I did not base it off of Sarah. I simply put a text prompt in. It was completely random AI generation. Okay? This account was specifically for becoming an AI influencer, getting sponsorships, making money. Okay? It was what it was. Okay? There are hundreds of them on Instagram. I just figured I could try it. Now, the fan view was absolutely wrong. I admit to that. I should have never even gone down that road. I should have kept it on Instagram, kept it completely safe, and there would have been no problem. But I did. I made that mistake. I lied about it. I have since admitted that. So I will still say that Literotica account has nothing to do with me. I don't know who created it. I don't know why they used Ariala's link tree. I don't know why they used Ariala's profile picture. I don't know. It definitely wasn't a troll, because at the time the trolls couldn't have known about that account at the time the Literotica was created. I don't know. I don't know what was going through these people's heads. I wish I knew who created that account so I could punch them in the face, because they've given me a lot of grief and pointed stuff at me that's not me, and I cannot. It's stupid. No, I did not create that account. I did not write that story. Everything I did was completely separate from anything me and Sarah did, so it had nothing to do with her or us or anything like that. It was completely just an AI account, an AI influencer account that I was trying to create. That's it. Nothing else. So that's it. That's the truth. That's what it was. So all the rumors can just stop. I know there's a lot of people that didn't know what the Ariala account was, anything like that. So now you do. That's it. End of story. Henceforth from here, this channel will be shut down on comments. You know, whatever you want to say, wherever you want to say it, you can say it other places, not here. I'm shutting down comments. This channel will be going down probably within the next few weeks. And when I come back, it'll either be with the Dream Team or by myself doing cooking videos. I'm not looking back. I'm looking forward. So this is it. I'm done explaining. I'm done talking about this. I'm done talking about anything related to any of the hate comments. I don't need to answer any more questions. I did it all last night on live. I don't need to explain anymore. I did it all last night on live. That's it. I'm done. So I'm moving on, whether it be with the Dream Team, which I doubt that will happen again, because with Sarah, I mean, yeah, Sarah's only across the complex, but it's still, scheduling is hard, so we probably can't even get that back up and running. But I will definitely at least make an account for my cooking. I'm just sending this account away, and I'll make it fresh and new, and it'll just be for my cooking, and that's it. So that's what's going to happen. So now you know exactly what the Ariala Gregman account was, why it started, where it went, what happened with it. That's it. As far as the Literotica account and those other two bogus accounts that they try and connect me to, I have never written a story on Literotica. Never in my life. I had an old account when I was like 20-something. I read stories. I did not write them. And I have not logged into that account in almost 20 years. So, I don't know where any of this is coming from. I don't know why my email addresses are coming up as used. But it really doesn't matter. I did not write anything on Literotica, period. So, that's it. That's the truth. Accept it or don't. I'm done talking about it. I'm done looking back. I've spoken the truth. I've answered the questions in the truthful way. So from here on out, I'm moving forward, and you can move forward with me, or you can keep pulling up the past and trying to dig deeper. But at this point, I'm done listening. I'm done looking. I'm done with everything. I'm just moving forward. So as of now, comments are turned off. So I'm sorry to those that want to make nice comments. You can send me a message request if you want to say something. Other than that, comments are off. I'm moving forward. So I will see you guys whenever I decide to bring back the cooking channel. Until then, everybody just, I hope everybody understands this is something I have to do. I can't keep looking back. I have to move forward. I've spoken the truth, and that's all I can do.
It's really annoying to me that he's like, oh, I don't need to explain anything. I'm done explaining and stuff like that. But he never like really actually explained everything. You know, there's still questions that are had, especially whenever there was still like, you know, lies said here. You know what I mean? Like there is still more to talk about and you should be talking about it. And you're going to be stuck in this where you're, you know what I mean? He's going to be stuck in a cycle of having to constantly like respond to stuff. Although I do think that's interesting, and he's going to anyway. He's going to relapse on all this. He's going to take back everything he said. He's going to be like, oh, responding to XYZ comment, you know what I mean? And I think that he should continually respond to stuff because it's more entertaining, but also because I think he's trying to say this, or like his mindset right now is that he can't get caught in more lies if he shuts up. So we'll see. But I hate that he thinks that he's not, that he doesn't have to respond to anything, especially whenever more is going to come out against him. And also his responses weren't really that good. You know what I mean? Even the girl, Hannah, even she was like, no, this isn't really adding up. No, this isn't really correct either. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Why is he outside again? There's also like a front flashlight, I'm pretty sure, right? Like there might be a front flashlight feature on TikTok. He was just straight up in the dark. But he could have used that in this video. I don't know why he had to be in the pitch black. Also, I don't get it. Making an Instagram account is fine to make like some NSFW-ish content, but not the fan view. Like the fan view is where you think it's too far. Also, this adds up to his lies about not knowing how to use AI or doing any of the stuff like that, just for some extra, like, you know, clarity on the situation. But I think he even made an of account or something like that for Ariala, right? I can't remember. There was something else like that. I don't think it was just fan view. There was a few things in the link tree, but some of those like links are gone now, so it's hard to say. He also kind of admits that no one knew about like he says stuff that's so contradicting to his own statements. He's like, I don't know how anyone could have known about that. No one knew about the account at that time, or really us, and stuff like that. So it just all points back at him while he's still trying to deny it. And he just looks really guilty because there's too much of a coincidence that he makes an AI account on Instagram and all that under this name and everything else. And then a Literotica account is made that makes family stories. Like, it's just not possible. It's not possible to be that coincidence that before anyone knew about you, no one would have known that about your AI account, and the AI account would make a Literotica account to then go on to make family stories. Like, it just does not add up. It's not possible, I feel. Very impossible. Maybe he's also saying he didn't make that account so he doesn't get arrested, or the likelihood of that happening goes down. The TikTok account was made for responding to stuff, but once one big thing happens to him, he does his usual thing, takes down comments, shuts down again, and plans on like taking down the account. And sadly, he talks about possibly returning for cooking videos. He also talks about like, oh, I'm done with everything now. I'm not responding to anything. I'm done talking. But he acted like this big bad wolf, like this bear or whatever, like he says, and then now just disappears again. It's cowardice. It's pathetic. Kind of like World of T-shirts, because he'll go up and like try to pick a fight, and then once like that person's ready to engage with him, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll punch back. He immediately runs away, starts screaming and playing the victim. I can't breathe. He also said that the family like account is also done, like DadDaughterDreamTeam. I'm guessing it's just gonna be like maybe Theresa and Hunter now, if anything. I'm guessing him and Sarah are going to be done making videos together, although I doubt that. It would be a smart move, though, but they're not that smart. The thing is, I don't think anyone cares about the cooking videos either, so, like, why return? Those cooking videos all the time get hate and made fun of. You should have just kept with responding to stuff, but you admit to something, and then you just ran away like a coward. Sarah's response in scamming her fans. Sarah hasn't said anything about the interview or Patrick since the interview. There are some posts to go over, like how they went to Six Flags before this drama happened. I think they talked about having a season pass before. So they finally went to Six Flags, I guess.
All right, guys, so we just dropped Jackie off at her daycare and boarding, and we are on our way to Six Flags. The first time we've been in 5 years. Aren't we all excited?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Woo!
And
yeah.
it's Fright Fest, too. So
yeah,
not
Fright
just Six
Fest.
Flags.
yeah, so we're gonna be doing the haunted houses, and I'm not excited for one of them.
What are you wondering? It's our favorite movie series.
It may be my favorite movie series, but Annabelle's in there.
Yeah, your favorite doll.
She is not my favorite doll. I hate Annabelle.
I just hope it's the movie Annabelle, not the real Annabelle, because the real Annabelle is just a Raggedy Ann doll, not scary at all.
Yeah, no, it is. It is the movie Annabelle. I saw the picture, so it is.
Oh, so that creepy face is gonna be looking at you?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can give it a hug.
And isn't the
No,
nun
thank
gonna be
you.
there too?
Yeah, the nun and the Perrin family, which is the original family from The Conjuring.
Yeah.
But also they have a Saw haunted house, which I've never seen that movie, so I don't know what to expect.
And a Texas Chainsaw.
And they have a Texas Chainsaw Massacre haunted
Sarah
house.
said you won't go in that one.
I'm not going in that one because I live in Texas. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned for my next video because it's going to be so much fun. I'm planning on filming as much as I possibly can. So make sure you stay tuned and we'll see you at Six Flags. Bye!
There was more to this, but I couldn't get it. I don't have the rest of it. It's so weird to me that Sarah talks about, like, she's just like, she acts like a child, bro. She's like, I'm too scared to go through this one spot, and talks about, like, all these scary things like Annabelle and all this other stuff, but you don't know Jigsaw. Like, there's a video, it was in a cringe segment, I think, in one of my, like, earlier videos on them. She didn't know any of the scary movie characters, like the franchise characters. I think she might have only known Ghostface. She didn't know Chucky, Freddy Krueger. I think she didn't know Jason or Michael Myers or Jigsaw. She didn't know any of these people, and now she's like, watch a movie, please. Like, become cultured. Quit being, like, make yourself interesting. They don't try at all. They really don't. Like, what movies and TV shows do they watch? Brokeback Mountain, and I don't know a movie or TV show about, like, Family X Family, so. But, like, because of those factors, to me, she just seems boring. Like, watch some stuff at that extended stay when you're there. Like what else are you doing while you're at the extended stay? You know what I mean? It was also shown that Patrick and Sarah have matching or matching-ish themes for Instagram handles. Sarah's is Miss.SarahG23, and Patrick's is Mr. Patrick G43. Kind of weird. It's like a Valorant E-Day. It's the energy it gives off. Also possibly a new account made by Patrick, but it could be fake. The account is called Theresa Getchell 1, but the name on the account is Patrick in all caps, so I don't really know. Like I said before, Sarah never made specifically a post or I think even a comment on her responding to anything about the interview or what Patrick was responding to. During the whole Patrick Responds stuff, Sarah is just making TikTok shop videos like this.
Be a vampire for Halloween. And you think you found the perfect costume, but something still feels missing. Could it be this? These vampire teeth fangs are versatile accessories for various occasions. They're suitable for Halloween parties, cosplay events, and masquerades. The set of 12 pairs offers plenty of options for different outfits. These props make great party favors and costume accessories, a perfect gift for anyone who loves horror-themed costumes. If you want to get your set of vampire fangs for your Halloween costume, click the link above my name and grab yours now. Happy Halloween!
She also claims that wasn't scripted in the comments, as someone says, side note, you're amazing at advertising things. Was this script just given to you, or do you have to make up these videos? And she says, this was entirely unscripted, blushing emoji with hearts. But someone responds to her comment with a picture of what I'm guessing is the product description or something on TikTok shop, and it's literally what she said. She lied again. It was so easily exposed for it. It's insane. Sarah also, the only thing that she really did as responding was repost some of, the first videos made by Patrick, talking and responding to comments and allegations and such. But I don't know if she did any more after, the admission, because, he makes the unscripted account, responds to some stuff, and then after he admits it on the live stream, he goes on to, make more statements. I don't know if she started reposting stuff after that, which I doubt she did. And she was apparently deleting comments talking about the situation, and that's really all that came out of from her about this. Then she also seemed to have botted comments. Some people were saying that they seemed botted, but I don't know if they would really have the money for that, and I don't really see the point. There are botted comments everywhere on TikTok and Twitter, so it's hard to really be like, oh yeah, she's buying engagement. There's too much, there's not enough evidence for that, because, literally, if you go to a popular TikTok, most likely some of the top comments, or you scroll just a little bit, you will see many botted comments. To go on, like the title of this segment says, she basically scammed her fans and lied to them. Although she claims to live in the complex across from them, it is still not what was originally said. There was talks of them being 30 minutes away from each other and stuff, and there was some like other factors as well that I can't exactly remember from that era. But if I was like one of those people that helped her out, I would have felt scammed because she lied about how far away she was and everything else. And some of those like haters that she has, possibly like quote haters, probably helped her out because they do want to see, some of them do want to see her succeed and like want to see her move out. They were under the impression that she was gone from them, and we get more into this later, by the way. This story and this plot thickens even more. But at least this is the last time she can really do any of the quote I need house stuff Amazon wish list without it having heavily negative attention towards her. I also wonder if the new job is a real thing or anything like that, or maybe if Patrick was like paying for this, you know what I mean? She ought to do a room tour, like how one of those Reddit posts said. They ought to just do room tours and house tour or extended stays tours, sorry. Since people already know where she is, you know what I mean? It makes no difference now. You might as well just do a tour and show everything off. But I feel like, you know, their house is dirty and they don't want to show it. I think that's why. Or they're lying, which we get more into later. It would help really prove that she actually lives alone. Sarah's secret account. Sarah has made a of account, supposedly, but it was verified and everything. It wasn't made for not safe for work purposes, apparently, but seems to have been made sometime in April and active in May. I don't know if there's any updated screenshots from it. I tried to look up the URL and it said the account might be down or it might not exist. People are saying that this can't be fake because it is verified and there's a whole strict process to it. OK-Hedgehog3988 says, I've been a creator on that site for a long time and I know the TOS and site like the back of my hand. When you sign up for a creator account, which she has, you need an ID, and they do multiple facial recognition scans to identify you. They do this to avoid people making fake accounts, impersonation, and catfishing. It is impossible to find a fake account of someone on OF because they are very strict with it, and it will remove it. If you even have a finger in the photo that doesn't belong to you, the system's AI will flag it and remove it because you didn't tag the second person. If you have anything that merely looks like a second person, you must tag someone and that person has to be verified, which means going through the same ID and facial recognition too, or it will immediately get flagged and removed. You cannot post anything that involves someone else who is not the creator and owner of the account without tagging them and adding a release form, which is something you cannot do as your profile picture. They will flag it and immediately remove it if your profile picture is you and someone else. And they will also flag and immediately remove the picture if it wasn't the owner of the account. Of is very, very strict about this stuff. It is impossible to have a fake account on that site because you'll immediately get banned. That is not speculation, that is a fact. When you make a fan account, I'm guessing they mean like a viewer account on there, one where you can purchase content from creators, you just need your ID to verify your age, but cannot post or make money. But making a creator account is completely different. This was from a whole other post that was, I guess, like a little wrong or something like that. So I just shown the comment talking about like how strict they are and stuff. Some of the extra screenshots I will show here, like it shows her bio and stuff. It was $4.99 a month, and it says just a girl on her way to achieving her dreams and stuff around that. And there is several, like, I know these are kind of bad quality, but they were good quality on my end. And it just seems kind of believable, although I don't know if the Reddit actually has these like pictures up anymore. Maybe it's fake, maybe it's not, but who knows. We just have it up here for now. The link to the spot doesn't work, or to the @ so I mean I can't verify it, but I think it's interesting. I think with some of the extra screenshots it's very hard for it to be fake, but who knows, that I just shown. But I feel like it's a very bad step for them, as why not just make a YouTube channel? Like, in their situation where they're trying to make money online, just start, like, a YouTube channel and don't delete it after something happens to you. Like, making an of account and posting non-NSFW content on there seems like a very, like, weird move. Even though of makes ads about it, like, oh, it's not just a website for X-rated material, it's also a website for this and that. They were even going to take out all the NSFW content at one point, but decided not to, as originally it was not a website for that, like I just said. But I don't know. Do y'all think it's real? I think it could possibly be. I mean, the screenshots are very clear. And it seems like her, you know what I mean? It's very, like, I wonder if she'll ever respond to this. Story about Theresa. There's been a statement made by someone in the TikTok comments of a post talking about the family, and one of them brings up Theresa, and here is that story. That was exactly what happened with Theresa. She went back to work at McDonald's. I used to live with her and date her brother. She went to work. We used to take her to work and drop her off, pick her up, and all of a sudden, she started talking about this guy named Patrick. I guess you went to school with him for a short time, but I don't know the original video at all, by the way, but, to go on, she doesn't know and didn't know who he was until she started at McDonald's, and then suddenly she just moved out and wanted to be with him all the time. Her and her mother and her father tried to stop it, but there's nothing we could do because she was an adult. Yeah, this punctuation's terrible. I remember like comments talking about it, but she is as slow. She does things, has to have guidance in everything, and he took advantage of her and still is. I've tried to talk to her, but she won't come to her senses that Patrick's a bad person, and everything her brother has seen, some of the videos that the Dream Team has put up there with his niece, and he's not a happy camper, and everything. We've been trying our hardest to get Sarah and his brother Theresa out of that situation. We're hoping that Patrick goes to jail or something like that, because he is the way to get Theresa back up to Vermont where she belongs, near her family. Yeah, work on punctuation. I know that I think TikTok comments have like a character like limit, so I think that's why the comment had to be so chopped up and bad. So possibly this person knew them. It seems like they did, because I think anyone that was around Theresa and friends with her is probably like, oh, so slow. Sorry, it's just the punctuation bothers me so bad. But anyway, I really don't like believing TikTok comments, but I think this person, like, supposedly on Reddit, people are commenting saying they shown proof that they were like around them and stuff, and it's legitimate and real. So this might be a real story, basically that she started working at McDonald's. For whatever reason, Patrick came into her life at some point, whether it was through school or whether it was through McDonald's, and like got her, basically convinced her to like move in with him or whatever, and has not been back around her family since, which is sad. Let me know what you all think. Do y'all think this is real or no? Because it's so hard to trust a random TikTok comment. But we can just have this up for maybe future purposes and stuff, you know what I mean? So we'll see. Family health and hygiene. There's a couple of health updates from them. It looks like Sarah is injured, something to do with her leg, as she's been now wearing a knee brace, and this was during her time at Six Flags, I'm guessing. As you can see in this picture. She hasn't said anything about it, I don't think, which is very weird, as I don't know why, but I feel like they would play the victim a lot. They do already, but I expect them to play more the victim about more things than they do. Maybe she'll talk about it at some point about the knee brace, but we'll see. I wonder if this person was also at Six Flags and like just acted like a fan to get a picture with her or something like that. I don't know the context of this picture because it doesn't look like anyone significant, and they also have their face blurred, so it's probably just someone that was acting like a fan. Thank you, Magenta Hearts, for that one. Next is by Icy_Department 9913 saying, how many days of not showering one need to obtain this level of grease? And it shows Patrick's really greasy hair. And you can tell it's bad because like whenever hair gets really greasy, it becomes like kind of, I wouldn't say like thinner. It kind of basically, it looks thin. Like you start seeing like the scalp a lot easier. And I don't know why he didn't actually like respond to the hygiene comments. Like, I want to know if this dude's showering and using shampoo and stuff like that, or like how often he does and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I need to know. Patrick and Sarah disappeared. Patrick and Sarah were supposed to do a second interview, or at least Patrick was supposed to do a second interview with the girl from before, Hannah. But before that could happen, both Sarah and Patrick deactivated their accounts. Patrick also apparently delayed the interview another day. But as Hannah says herself here, change of plans, interview will be tomorrow night, probably the same time as before, 9 p.m. See you all then. But there was already Reddit posts around that same time, whether it was the next day or the day where it got delayed. One by Woke Up A. Okay. It says interview tonight / accounts gone. Does anyone have updates? I'm Sarah skimming the page and not seeing much. The interview was supposed to be tonight at 9, and their pages are gone. Not much on TikTok either, I'm finding. First time here, sorry I've missed something if the rabbit hole got me. And there was also other like posts and comments talking about, well, their accounts are gone. And this is something I didn't bring up yet, and I kind of wanted to leave in the dark. The reason I couldn't find, because I kind of, although you can kind of just see like the names of this stuff, I feel like if you're just watching and not like seeing it all, this is kind of a surprise to you. But yes, they ended up deactivating their accounts. But this only gets worse as Hannah has screenshots from DMs with Patrick, and this is their shocking back and forth. And there's stuff I've been hiding from you all, okay? But I wanted to save it for this segment. I wanted to be near the end, so you had like all this other extra stuff, and then you had the big fish like near the end. Now these text conversations, I can't remember where they either started on Instagram or they started on TikTok, then went to Instagram. But this is Patrick saying, of course it does. So yes, I wrote that story. That is the only story like that I've ever written. It was complete fiction, and it was hard for me to even write it. But I was being stupid, trying to get traction for the whole AI account, and terrifying as it is, most of the top read stories on Literotica are from that category. There, I said it. But there's multiple stories. So, I mean, there's like a series, and I think there's even extra ones as well, like sub-series and stuff like that. So this is a lie as well. Now you know that everything that we have lied about, except for one thing, Sarah never moved out completely. We got a 2-bedroom apartment at the extended stay, and the second bedroom has a second kitchen and a door. So it is kind of the same, but not really. So many people were pressuring her to move out that she just wanted to try to get a break from it, like how they said earlier. I want a break. I want them off my back. From it all, and she didn't want to leave TikTok, so she felt it was better just to make people believe she left. That is the full truth, but in order to truly understand how I could possibly justify trying to make money off of that, then my life and the events leading up to it are even more important. So do with this info what you will, but if you're willing to hear the rest of it, I will be putting together a biography of my life as short as I can make it. I pray that my trust is not misplaced. So we might expect that in their return if they do return. Maybe he like talks more about his life and stuff, which would be interesting. Maybe a second interview will happen, but there's more DMs. Let's go over them. Saying, I'll be thinking about it. I am nervous as heck because I am doing this to free myself, and all I can see is what people are going to think. I'm starting to believe, however, that God is using you to bring this to light, and so I have to just trust him above all else. She responds saying, absolutely, amen. Patrick says, if we work together and with his guidance, I'm sure we can find a way to close the door on this in a way that will show the truth without completely destroying me or my family. So is there more? Is that what you're saying, basically? That like your family is going to be done for if people know the full truth? Hannah responds with, I agree with you. He responds saying, I know you are not completely on my side. I am not delusional enough to believe that we are friends, but I believe that you have the right intentions, and ultimately something like this requires a not so neutral party, because in the long run, if I worked with someone who was already my friend, then everyone would question it even more. Now we're going to go on to the Instagram messages, and it says, the truth is, no matter what, I have never done anything to harm or broom my family. I've never even thought about it. I am just a father trying to give my family the best life I can. Did I go too far and make a horrible mistake one time? Yes. I own up to that, but I will not admit to things I never did or accounts I've never seen. So there it is, the truth. She responds saying, I understand that is your truth. People from your past have also started to talk and are stating otherwise. I'm talking like 10 plus years ago. Just trying to understand why people would want to hurt you if that's not true. I wish the heck I knew. I've always been nice to everyone unless they aren't nice to me. I have had friends, and most people I meet like me, at least to my face. I have no idea why anyone would start telling things that aren't true. Also, I just had a thought, but if all these people from 10 plus years ago had these suspicions or concerns, why are they only coming forward now? Why only after we started getting hate? Why wait? So they see what others are saying now. It's like, quote, oh yeah, I always thought something strange was happening, or some other nonsense. She responds saying, they had concerns, and anytime it was brought up, you got defensive and moved around. Lots of concerns. You told people Hunter hit Sarah in the head, but that doesn't match what you said. Seems like now the story is very different from whatever the actual truth is, Patrick. And he responds saying, and this is about a Facebook post where something about, it was like prayer requests, and like Sarah had to be sent through an ambulance to the hospital. But anyway, to go on, he says, I've never told anyone that Hunter hit Sarah in the head. I swear, and you can, like, you know, assume what was said here. I don't like putting that stuff because those type of behaviors, like, he's like supposed to be a godly man and biblical and stuff, and it says in the Bible not to be saying this type of stuff, like swearing on his name. But he did here like 2 times at least, or no, he did it once and then adds on like using his name in a way that shouldn't be used. Anyway, he says, if I could find out who is actually telling these lies, I would be suing them for defamation. Jeez, to say the least. This is so freaking maddening. She responds saying, it's not a lie, ... You literally commented it on the post. If it wasn't true, you would have never wrote on it. You're freaking lying to me. I can see the post. And then it shows that Patrick himself made a post saying, all I know is Hunter threw something at her in the head and she is having issues staying awake. Please pray. All is well. Sarah is going to be fine. Concussion is all. That's what the post says below. Like, these are like conversations that are not all linked together. People are saying that Hannah is possibly like egging this on. And I could kind of believe it, because why not just show like the full conversations instead of just these like few, you know what I mean? But he goes on to say, but this is like another conversation. That's also why the cover photo was our book. I had thought I changed it, but I didn't. And she says, can I be honest? I feel like you wrote more stories. And as I said many times, that's not illegal. I don't feel like someone overnight could write something like that without experience. Then he says, I've never written anything like that. I've written in the past some sexy stuff, but never published it anywhere and always deleted it or for my wife. So he wrote like smut for his wife, basically. But no, I don't believe this either, because like he's like get rich quick type of dude. He's like trying to find any avenue. He's gonna do this. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna upload it no matter how bad the quality is. He's proven it in the past. None of it was like family x family though. Also, I have experience in creative writing. Sarah and I wrote the entire book. That isn't true, because he admitted that he used AI for a bit of it. True, that wasn't anything like this, but I still have a creative mind. Yeah. Okay. I gave into the temptation one time. No thoughts of reality, purely fiction, to cater to a niche crowd that I thought might subscribe to a fan view. There's really nothing more to it. I will admit that choosing that specific topic was probably the absolute stupidest decision of my life. With all the rumors about Sarah and I should never have even considered it. I literally dug my own grave and buried myself with that one stupid choice. If I had written just a normal erotic story, then all of this would be a non-issue. It still would be, probably, depending on what you wrote, how you wrote it, but I had to try to boost popularity by writing something that could be read by lots of people, and the top read stories on La Erotica are from that category. So, as they say, the rest is history. She also made a response video talking about her side of the second interview, or I think like the aftermath of the first one. Oh, and the situation in general. I'm guessing there was also some other issues she had behind the scenes, as she talks about some extra stuff in here that I don't know the context of, but here is that.
Hey guys, so it has been a hot minute since I have come on and addressed anything. I have taken time to really just digest kind of all the hate that I was getting because I voted for Trump and I had reposted some things. I don't regret any of that. I still stand firm in my beliefs, but when you're on the other side of people, you know, attacking you and threatening you, you know, you do have to take that seriously, because people are crazy, and I have children, and I have to protect them, you know. So when that kind of all came out, I wasn't running away because I was ashamed for what I did. I was just running away because I don't need that kind of stuff to affect my actual real life outside of TikTok. Now, some rumors that I do want to clear up are, one, Patrick and I are not related at all, actually. I began talking about the Dad and Daughter Dream Team for a while on TikTok. And I know a lot of people have opinions on where I got my information, and a lot of it, yes, I was very open that some of it came from Reddit, some came from my own research, some came from people who reached out to me and shared information with me. So I got information from all different angles. The second thing is, it was kind of hurtful that people were saying I looked like Patrick. I mean, I can laugh about it, But it's just sad that there's a real situation happening in real time. And instead of focusing on that, people are just mean, and just kind of sucks being on the other end of it, So there's that. The other thing is, people are saying I was bluffing about the interview. No, the interview was supposed to happen. And, Patrick and Sarah are off TikTok from what they claim. And in that interview, Patrick was going to confess to writing the Little Erotica account. He also was going to confess that Sarah does not and never moved, that she still very much lives at home. Those are some of the things that were going to come out in this interview, and I am here now sharing that information. I really don't want any more part of this situation. At the end of the day, from what I am learning, legally, he has done nothing wrong. And he has not confessed anything illegal to me that I could even report or do anything with. Hunter is a minor. And so, of course, if I knew something that was extremely illegal, I would 100% report that. But the things he has confessed to, I believe, are technically not illegal. They might be morally wrong, and he knows very well I do not agree with anything he did. And I made that very clear to him, that that was just vile. I guess people were questioning my relationship with him. There really was no relationship. He knew I was not his friend, and he knew that I was there for information. I did my best to give him some kind of grace in me speaking with him. And I wanted him to be able to trust me, to open up and to confess some of the things he's done. And he did. As of right now, I am not in contact with them. I know nothing new. I only know what I know from what he told me weeks ago. So I guess I'm here just to kind of clear up some of the stuff and to let you guys know the two things that he did confess to. I'm sorry to anybody who genuinely felt offended by my beliefs. I don't think it's intentional. We all have a different moral compass and things that we agree with and don't agree with. I think that's one of the beauties of being an American, is that we have freedom of speech and we have the right to practice, our faith and to go out there and vote for what we think is right. And so, I'm sorry to anybody who was offended, and I really do mean that. Also, I want to say I never made any money from any of this, and I would never accept any money from this. The money that was made on that live all of it was donated to a foundation that worked with women, men, children of assault. And so I want to make that very clear. I never accepted a dime, and I never paid Patrick. He was willing to share information with me. So, also I did block a bunch of people because I was just running away. I didn't want to deal or see anything more about the situation. So I know that this video is long, but I hope this just clears everything up, and do what you will with that information I am giving you. And yeah, and I won't really be talking about the situation anymore. I'm kind of just stepping away from it, and I made that clear to Patrick and hopefully to you guys, to know that I'm done with all of this, because it has been mentally draining. And it sucks when you're trying to fight for justice and people, instead of working with you, they kind of just tear you down. So that's kind of my only purpose, was to bring justice to the situation.
An interesting add-on to this segment is Patrick has apparently been playing Roblox since he left TikTok again. Some of the following has been shown too. Let's go over these screenshots. Dash Lindsay says he is playing Roblox right now. This is his account, and it says he is in a game. The account is friends with the account named H. named Hannah. I don't know. Maybe they're playing Roblox together now? I have no idea. And the second photo, you can see the shirt he is wearing was created by the Lord Little account, a pattern of peace, making shirts. Like, bro, aren't you supposed to be, I don't know, doing an interview 3 hours ago? So he was playing Roblox and active on there. So he was active on Roblox a little, like, the day he was supposed to be doing the interview. And, of course, here's the t-shirt that he made. Life is a game sports top, saying, life is a game, so play it. The perfect shirt for Roblox. 10 Robux for that. I don't know how much money that truly is. Probably like 10 cents maybe. Previous bus 4353 says, Patrick is playing children's games on Roblox. Another post I saw showed his Roblox account, so I decided to look it up, but specifically look at the games he plays, and upside down smiling emoji. And you can see some of the games that he's been playing. I don't really know some of these, but there's like several brain rot ones. Lucky Block, Plants vs. Brain Rots, Fish a Brain... Why is there so many brain rot ones? What's wrong? I guess he's going to make a brain rot game now. But he has a couple of like other fantasy ones such as Rune Slayer and Attack on Titan Revolution, some anime ones, Steel and Anime, Dragon Soul, Dragon Ball Ripoff, another brain rot, a few brain rot games. But Glum-Revenue-2778 says, Patrick on Roblox. I was on the Creators Live tonight when multiple people said that Patrick was on Roblox again, playing a game called Bubblegum Simulator. That game is designed for kids. He's a very sick man. Edit. I know that adults play Roblox with their kids and younger family members. This has nothing to do with y'all playing. This has to do with Patrick, who has shown interest in young teens and young adults. The defending of Patrick in the comments is something I never expected. Clearly, I'm in the minority of the people who have no grace for Patrick. Now, I can kind of understand where she's coming from. Roblox is known for, you know, having issues with Preds being on there. I mean, it's known. It's been shown before. Schlepp is, you know, had his whole thing about it, exposing it even more. So maybe he's trying to find more impressionable kids. I think some people said that. And just other stuff like that. Maybe he's trying to find stuff to steal from other games. And he is kind of a man-child, so wouldn't put it past him. So is Sarah. Just an adult child. Difficult Misfit says Patrick's Roblox following, saying, I don't know, his followers give the vibes of children, unless this is y'all following him. He's online right now. I'm online a lot with my children. I'll be watching you, Patrick. So this is like actually a parent. And you can kind of see the accounts he has followers that are following him. Some of these look young, and some of these don't. One of these says 89 at the end, so in 01, so some of these might be adults. It's hard to say, like, are these, like, 78? Like, you know, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, are these, like, adults or not, even with the tags having numbers at the end of them. Mortgage Funding 5, but spelled wrong, which is kind of funny. This is definitely them. Sophia, a woman. Miss Paris, another woman. Bambi, another woman. Rosie, another woman. I don't know if there's like maybe 1, 2, or 3 dudes out of this entire 10 follower list. But Hannah ended up going live again at some point and talked about the dream team with another person, like talking about her experience with it. But I don't think anything significant came out of it. It was also like it was like 2 hours long. I didn't want to put another like huge segment that's probably going to be useless. No one really clipped it or anything, but it's archived out there. Some people are questioning if they'll ever return, and with the text message admissions, it's kind of hard to say, but I feel like they will. I don't know if they've came from worse or not, but this is like a really hard thing to come back from, especially after lying so many times and admitting it. But do you all think they'll return or no? Community questions, comments, and concerns. Like at the end or the near end of most videos, there's a whole section where I show community posts that have good points and such. You know, community questions, comments, and concerns. It's in the title, but here they are. Upper_suggestion 6808 says covert/emotional family x family. Covert X is a form of non-physical CSA. Examples of covert X could be inappropriate sharing of graphic images and similar behaviors that, while still being CSA, are described as covert for their intangible nature. Covert X is described as occurring when a parent is unable or unwilling to maintain a relationship with another adult and forces the emotional role of a spouse onto their child instead. Jungian analyst and author Marion Woodman describes covert X as, quote, unboundaried bonding, in which the parent or parents use the child as a mirror to support their needs rather than mirroring the child in support of the child's emotional development. Source was Wikipedia. And they add in their own comments saying, I'm not an expert, but a few examples of what we see from their life seems to line up. It's possible that Patrick has never touched S, but it's honestly CSA either way. We've kind of seen like him like graze her a little bit on stuff and, you know, about liquor or possibly liquor in a post, which was really weird. First of all, the Erotica stuff shows that P actually sees S fulfilling the emotional role he needs from a spouse. Second, the Instagram stuff with the AI generated Ariella X-rated material was definitely covert X because of P sharing X images with S. I don't think it was like a jointed like effort, you know what I mean? So I'm not exactly sure about that one. Thirdly, the fact that S's old TikToks actually show her developing at a normal rate and now she behaves more childish than before, it shows this dynamic of unboundaried bonding has stunned her emotional development. And that's true, like she does seem like a child, and I feel like a lot of that trauma and stuff that she has now gone through has made her be this way. And it's really sad to think about because, you know, she could have been a normal girl or halfway normal because, you know, being put in a position like she's been put in can make or break you, like a lot of people. And it can make, but I feel like she's been so converted, you know what I mean, to think this way and act this way that it's just so sad. It's so sad, and it's definitely a mental thing. Yeah, it's going to be this, like, toxic relationship where they're on the internet and in person where they're going to be constantly around each other and such, and she'll never go be on her own or get a man that will be proper. Greasy Ghoul makes a post saying, H schooling, or quote schooling, I should say, saying, I know I've commented about this before, but whenever S says anything about Hunter's schooling, it makes me so irritated. She's acting like he is in Harvard or doing something serious. It's so irritating how pretentious she talks. I've talked about this before, but I don't think homeschooling is like bad for like in certain extents, but everyone can agree that Hunter needs to be in in-person schooling, especially in this situation. He needs that social aspect. He's not getting any other social aspect unless they go somewhere. And at that point, he's probably just still talking to the family. It creates unhealthy habits, incredibly unhealthy habits emotionally and socially and stuff like that. Like, it's bad. Like, he needs to be in actual school. I think there's even comments. Yeah, there was a comment, reasonable_result 898 says, I feel like they only mention it to prove he's doing school. We all know he's not leading anything being homeschooled by P&T, even if it is online. And then Anu Joanna says, exactly, like S&P were not even able to tell what grade he is in whenever they were asked on live. That tells everything. There is zero schooling getting done at that dirty motel room. Sad. It's an extended stay, okay? But no, on a real note, yeah, like I think that, especially in this situation, they are using, because I'm not going to add the A in front of that, they are using the school homeschooling system to their benefit for whatever reason, to a way that, like, I think, like, also, like, there's legal trouble if your kid doesn't go to school to a certain extent, right? And he's still young. Like, I don't know if he's even in high school yet, if he would be considered a freshman or not. I don't know what grade he's in. I don't even know how old he is. He needs that social aspect. He needs that stuff, and he's not probably learning anything, especially from someone as deranged. And you have, okay, so you have Sarah, a child, basically a person with the mind of a child who has fallen for Patrick's trap. Patrick, a manipulator who has, you know, took advantage of both everyone, basically, and who is also deranged and not smart at all, and who has barely succeeded and has plenty of issues struggling in life. Then you have Theresa, mentally delayed. He has to learn this on his own somehow. He has to learn, like, basically on his own. He's screwed. Unless he went to actual school, where he'd have a fighting chance. But they don't put him in there for whatever reason. I guess it's because they don't have, like, a for sure home. I don't know if he was in-person school before. I'm guessing he was at some point, and then just, like, they moved around too much because of money issues. But just prove something. Like, it's terrible. Next is by DadDaughterDreamTeam saying, there was a Rangers game that day. And this was coming from, like, the comment era where he would respond to stuff. Some person responded to Patrick saying, your book was pretty poor rating for a, quote, successful bestseller. I don't know why they would ever say that. I don't think it got many sales at all, and no one shows up to their like meetings or whatever, like their signings. And you can't say it's trolls, because if it was so successful, it would weigh out the online trolls, crying laughing emoji. Not to mention, literally nobody showing up to the meet and greet, like I just said. Dad Daughter Nightmare Team says, FYI, there's a Rangers game that day. Pointing up emoji, angry emoji. So nobody could probably get there. Eyes rolling emoji. Dad Daughter Nightmare Team also says, just stop by to say, hey, let's see how long this stays before he deletes it and blocks me. Since you know he's not blocking people or deleting comments. And I'm guessing that was an excuse they made in the past, which is kind of funny. But I didn't know. I can't remember. I feel like I've heard it before. But, yeah. Next is by Deleted. Can someone explain how, like, deleting stuff on Reddit works? If you delete the post, does it just not show up on your account anymore? Or, like, is the account deleted or banned? Like, what happened here? Anyway, it says something I noticed. After Patrick's grand entrance back to TikTok, I decided I would check out some of the older posts on this thread. One thing I've been noticing is that when he makes these videos trying to, quote, clear the air, he struggles to look at the camera. I know one thing. If I'm innocent of something, I can look people directly in the eye with confidence when speaking to them. I can look directly in the camera if making a video. He seems twitchy and uncomfortable, and he's hiding something. He knows he's guilty. Make no mistakes about that. And then Administrative C95 says he has to concentrate on not saying something wrong, in parentheses, or truth, I should say. Or speaking the truth is easy and free-flowing, and you don't have to get nervous or twitch or look away or even pause. And that is true. Like I talked about earlier, the mannerisms are pretty bad and stuff that he keeps on doing. Melodramatic Mom saying, for Pat. Patrick, I have a few questions. One, why do you look at Sarah's private areas, as it was shown before in dance videos? And just other ones in general. 2, why do you do those dances with Sarah where you're literally rubbing on her? Very weird indeed. Talked about that earlier. 3, why is the whole shtick, quote, dad and daughter when you have a son and wife as well? Why not just Sarah? Good question. 4, do you think your relationship with your daughter is normal? That's actually a good one to ask. I really wonder if he thinks the relationship with his daughter is normal. I think he said before that he thinks it is. So, I don't know. Also adds on saying, just wondering, I have a great relationship with my father and we talk daily. We barbecue, have drinks on the weekends. We have a great family time. You can think we don't know what a good relationship is with our fathers, but you're dead wrong. You are the one who doesn't know boundaries, and you are the one who doesn't know what a healthy relationship is. Oh, and by the way, the Literatica accounts were linked to your emails in case you missed that. The internet is only getting more advanced, and you probably thought no one would ever figure out karma is a sucker, to say the least. Oh, and one more thing, you could say, quote, mind your business, but you made it the entire internet's business when you decided to click post. It's the internet. If you don't like people in your life, get out. That's a good point. I like some of these questions. I like the 4th one the most because, don't get me wrong, I think that if you tell him these other ones, he's going to deny them, like the private areas. Rub on her is a good one. I wish he was actually going to respond to these, but he never did. There is no excusing that type of behavior that he was doing, by the way, of course. But I feel like he's just going to try to make excuses for it. But I feel like on a live stream, or just with an actual interview, I would love to do one and get like some actual good deep answers and stuff like that, and maybe get the biography on there and stuff. Like if he wants to talk, hit me up. I wonder if he can hit me up on Reddit or Twitter. Do that. Or just tell me on TikTok. But again, you have my ads everywhere. So anyway, general _ pay _ 3276 says, hey Patty, I have a quick hot take for you. If you have to tell people you aren't in a romantic relationship with your daughter, there's a problem. Hope this helps. Foxy Dale 3216 says, yes, literally was watching and I thought, how can they not grasp the severity and absurdity of it all? To have that accusation in the first place and then to act like they do. And that's a good point because you're doing something wrong if people are like telling you or thinking that. There are people that don't know the full context and they're new to the account and they literally think they're like husband and wife. So even without the context of having a family, you all look like a couple. Next is by strict-bug 4079 saying, if you were in S's position, what would you do? Recently, I had the misfortune of learning about this situation. It's very obvious something is very wrong within the dynamics of the family, and now, peace confession, it's almost a guarantee that something nefarious is going on with them. I feel for S. I find myself asking if I was in her shoes, what would I do to get away from them and be safe? Sometimes I see how disgusted and exhausted she is. I know she wants out despite what she says. Maybe she doesn't even know she wants it sometimes. How do you get away from a man like this? What would your escape plan be? Also, if you're doing something illegal, why attract so much attention to yourself by posting everything on TikTok? I truly hope they all can get away from P. He is a very sick man. Now, I don't know. There was some extra comments that Lula just said, like, get a job and move out. And that's basically all you really can do. You get a job, you save up money, you try to keep your distance from them, and they're now in like a 2-bedroom extended stay, but there's like a whole extra kitchen or something like that. So she's kind of like more distanced from them. So to me, it is very interesting that maybe she's like hopefully trying to take those steps. And yeah, you could see that she's exhausted, she's tired. She doesn't like what's going on, and that's completely understandable. But if I was her, I would save up a bunch of money and move out. I would also start talking to guys online or trying to find a man. Maybe not immediately, since she's going through a SA type of situation, and that's going to be hard for someone to want to get into a relationship. Maybe I would get really social really fast. I would try to become social, do extra stuff, whatever that may be. Go get a job, go get a second job, go be social, try to go follow my dreams if I still want to do that, or at least just try to like get out of that spot and survive. Because if she's on her own, she could probably, like, especially now that she has all the materials to get out of that house for the most part, she could just leave. She could just leave and probably be okay financially and such. But what would you all do if you're in her situation? A lot of interesting stuff was talked about in this section. I always like to add these in. I always like talking in this section because there's so much more. There's like, a good dialogue between everyone in this community and everyone in this situation. And there was some really good stuff talked about here. On to the next section. End. Before I end this video, I want to go over some memes I've gotten this time around, and here they are. This one is by I Can't Odd 85 saying, now Sarah can say she has white teeth, and it was literally a screenshot from her vampire teeth like TikTok shop video. That was brutal, even if those white teeth are 2 fake fangs. That is rough. That is actually really rough, but I thought it was kind of funny, okay? And also, this was supposed to be originally a funny thing because I just saw the picture. I didn't see all the extra text that went along with it. Because look at Patrick here. This is like a hilarious image. This is by the Scammy Awards. This is the person that had that like long comment on TikTok earlier saying, my stomach has been turning all week. And it's a screenshot of a Getchell Family Reptiles post saying, fun in the sun on Saturday at my mom's house. Hashtag fun, hashtag slip and slide, hashtag water play. That's not... You don't put that ever again. Hashtag summer, hashtag funny, hashtag fun in the sun, hashtag good times, and more after that. And it says, I just keep going over the half-done confessions in my head and thinking about this man's family. The way I see it, the kids have been prisoners since birth, and his wife, a woman who can't brush or wash her hair properly or even handle the slightest bit of personal care without guidance, is under his guidance. And he also doesn't do hygiene well, as we already know. And they all admittedly just shack up in this hotel room together. That's a interesting word. I don't... Anyway, no lease means they flee the area if needed, which is also an interesting point to bring up. And I wonder if that's why they do it. But to go on, family is trained to defend this man, even if it includes lying for him. I know they will be back, but surely he must know we won't believe him about a dang thing ever again. Not like most people here already didn't, but the people who supported him, bought things off their wish list, actually bought their awful book. What do we even say to them, P? Even with this, quote, confession admitting to the bare minimum, all I can think is no. This is just what you're willing to admit to because you were caught. So what's happening behind the closed extended stay doors? What don't we know because it wasn't posted online? Do we even want to know? I think we do. I think that we truly do want to know. I would want to know all the details. I think it's necessary that we know the details. This made me nauseous enough on its own. I wish the best for those kids, even though one is no longer a kid. I think mentally she kind of is. And the mom who is also mentally a child. But will they ever get out? It's honestly just so sad at this point. Yeah, you don't get a happy ending this time around. You thought this was a meme? No. You're getting the bad ending for this video. But, yeah, to be honest, I see what this person's saying. I would like to know all the information, all the details. they seem kind of stuck under this manipulation. And I feel like Patrick's not really that smart. He's just like, he found one person that was under him mentally and used that to the fullest extent, and then got kids, and kids already have this like connection to their parents and stuff, although I know not every kid does, but he creates this relationship and this connection and then uses it to the fullest extent. And I really wonder if they stay around for a long enough time, we'll see what happens with Hunter, if he grows up, how he grows up and everything else, which is an interesting future to think about, because does Hunter grow up and is he going to be mentally delayed? He seems to already be a little mentally delayed, possibly, or maybe he's just a kid. Maybe I'm being too harsh on him. But to go through homeschooling, when will he get a job? Will he get a job at like 16, 15 or whatever? Start socializing, hopefully mold him into a better person, or what? You know what I mean? But that's all I got for now. Let me know what you all think in the comments down below. Do you all think that they are done for good, or will they return? I always wonder what the family is like whenever they are away from the cameras. Is like the extended stay just quiet? Do they hang out a lot? Do they like watch anything? Apparently not. It doesn't seem like they watch movies or TV shows really. And that's one thing that I'd go into personal questions like favorite movies and TV shows. I think Sarah said she watches Friends or something like that, but I can't remember. Also, how big is their second place and such? Because like to have like a second kitchen and this whole other door to be kind of separate from them. She also made it seem like whenever she was doing those videos, like the apartment tour, not a tour, but she talked about it and showed off a little bit of her spot. It seemed like kind of big, but also kind of small, like it was kind of compact. So she kind of has her own whole room now, possibly a second kitchen. And she brought her own mattress, so I'm guessing that means Hunter gets his own bed now, which is good. Unless that second mattress is... Well, no, did they stay in a one-bedroom before? I think they did. They might have stayed in a one-bedroom, and Sarah just had her own mattress, and maybe Hunter's on the couch or on his own air mattress in the middle of the living room or something. I don't know. I want a tour. I want an extended stay tour. They did scam the fans completely and lied to them several times for so long, especially after admitting, like, oh, yeah, she didn't actually move out. That's, like, a huge lie. That's a huge lie. You know what I mean? All that support, positive comments and stuff, just for them to lie about it was so weird to me. And you can't trust them anymore. You can't trust them at all. They lied about everything several times for so long. I think they'll come back within the month, I think. I think it's been like, I don't know how long. It might have been a few weeks now already. Like, what? I think the post talking about like 24 days since, you know, like them disappearing or shutting off their accounts, like from the Reddit posts. So I feel like they'll come back maybe within the next month, month and a half or two. 1 to 2 months and they'll be back, I feel. But we'll see. They did admit to a lot of terrible things. I don't know how they'll ever come back from that. I could see Sarah just doing her own thing and Patrick sadly doing his own as well. I'm curious if Sarah will ever respond more or not to anything, or how they're going to come back and what their first messages and stuff are going to be when they do return. There was a lot of shocking things said and done in this episode, a lot to digest. He tried to call us crazy the entire time too, but we were right in the end. You literally can't trust these people anymore at all. Like even the fans and supporters, like that one Reddit post said, how are you supposed to tell these people that had trust in you? Can't tell them anything. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy videos like this, as I make videos on internet dramas, locales, and more. Make sure to use YouTube's no hype feature on this video, as it will help a lot, and follow my Twitter is linked in the description below. And in the end, I'm PERK30, and keep God close.